Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to ESFL Sunday. This is ESFL 185, week 2 of season 2 of the Xbox side, and we have a bit of a banger for you guys today, as it's right now. I am happy to be here. I am your host and commentator, Kingsley, and alongside me is the one, the only Boiler. How you doing today? It's been a while since we actually commentated together.
Yeah, Kingsley, I think last time we did was Undisputed launch last year, so that's been a year, and unfortunately we've had to drop the Undisputed boxing for now, but we can move past that. We always have a great time in the booth together, though.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a card that we have for us to work together since that whole moment. But look at this whole entire card. Not only are we having like a bunch of debuts, some vets coming into this card, but at the top of the main event, it still gets to be determined because we still have kind of a little bit of a tournament situation, but there's going to be one fight that's going to be going ahead, going to the finals against someone who is looking to get the interim title, because while Jamie is our current Xbox champion, but someone's going to get the interim title, and that shapes up for the rest of the ESFL season here, Boiler.
Yep. Suave Jamie's flight changed. He was not able to defend his title today. So I said, look, Jamie, we're not going to strip you. If you don't show up for the next event, you may get stripped, though. The point is, I'm going to do an interim title, 4-man tournament today. Winner of that takes on Jamie at the third event later in August next month. The winner of that battle, Jamie versus whoever wins our tournament today, will not only get the unified championship, but it will count as a defense on the seasonal leaderboard. We got 8 events this season. Whoever has the most defenses after 8 events wins the seasonal championship, gets the real-life belt shipped to them, gets a little bit of extra Boilers bonus, and of course gets all the glory of ESFL Season 2 champ for Xbox. So, Jamie's not here, but we got an awesome 4-man tournament. We got Warrior versus Webcam, and we got Muay Thai Jesus versus EK Mixups. All 4 of these guys were in the 8-man tournament last week, and none of them actually faced each other last week. So it's some of the best from last week's tournament that did not get a chance to fight each other, Kingsley.
Yeah, and like big stakes all around. Every single event that we have in this Xbox season is going to be monumental. And just to name out a couple of people, especially like from the main event and co-main event, let's talk about the rest of the card. We got people who are making their debuts like Pigeon, Striking, King Jong Snow, Whimpering Land, Bone doing work coming back for this season. We have Gamp, Kieran, Maxi, Leo, Beef Up, Trixie, Payne. All these guys are coming in, so you know that this card is going to be amazing. I feel like we're going to have our hands like up in the air when we try to decide what is going to be fight night. But let's get this whole card going, as we're not going to wait without any further delay. Our first fight is going to be ready to go. Is EK Masio going against Fear Mitchie, and 2 guys making their debut here, Boiler. What can we look at this bantamweight division fight?
Let's do it. Tonight is going to have a ton of vets and a ton of new blood, really trying to see who can do what. Now, Maceo's fought in the UFC, or in the ESFL, that is, on UFC 4, but has not fought in comp in UFC 5. So this is Maceo's first comp fight in UFC 5, according to my records. And I am the record keeper, so if it's a mistake, it's on my end. Fear Mitchie, brand new, and he was one of the most, vouched for, or pretty much everyone was saying, you got to get Fear Mitchie into the next season. Here's his first fight. Let's see what he's got, Kingsley.
Yeah, the spotlight is always the biggest on the first fight because everyone is tuning into the ESFL live here on Sunday on Twitch and on YouTube. It is going to be a nice bit of a banger, as EK Masio is on the left side using Peter Yan, and on the right, it's going to be Fear Mitchie using Umar Nurmagomedov. And right now, you see Peter Yan pushing the pace a little bit, trying to push his opponent back to the cage, trying to land some combinations, but Mitchie's still holding his own, trying to be a counter puncher and taking his time, trying to go for a takedown, but not able to get the full extent of it. And so far, good defense from EK Masio.
For real, he's as a Yan fighter, you got to be pressure, you got to be moving forward, you got to stop takedowns. He did that well early, but not there.
Yeah, it seemed like the test was going to be like, how many times can you deny the takedowns? And it only took 2 for Mitchie to get into the situation. So right now, into the half guard, pushing into side control, using those elbows, which is going to score a lot of points in the judges' scorecards. but how long can Masio wait in this extent? He has 3:15 left in this first round where he needs to find his way back up. But it's always such a patient game when you go to the ground game right here. It's like a chess move.
The ground game is about patience, quick reactions too, and a little bit of mind games, but patience is big. But when you get stacked guard, not much time for patience there. Those do big damage if they land.
Yeah, big damage indeed, and that's going to be scoring a lot of points. Mixups trying to go for the body twice in a row, able to land some more points. But right now, it's up to Masio, trying to answer back with some of his own strikes as we pass the half point of the first round. Trying to land some combinations, has that block gauge low for Mixups, but Mixups trying to go for a takedown, not gets the takedown. His second attempt at that gets denied. 2 out of 3, not able to get the takedown right there, Boiler.
Nice. Taylor's definitely got the advantage on the feet. He's catching them on all different types of strikes, really. But another takedown. He stuffed it this time.
Good stuff so far. And you see that he has to be on his piece of cues when it comes to this blocking. Because even though you're trying to use these combinations, he's going forward and forward. But the body shots, look at the domino shots that could be happening as this fight gets a little bit longer. Because it's very underrated to go for those body shots. But now the combinations are coming out from Mixups.
Yeah, Masaya was caught on one leg, throwing a kick, and got tagged a couple times by Mixups. Did some good damage.
Yeah, doing a lot of good damage, and you have to think, going for a takedown again. The ankle doesn't work again. The 4th attempt, only 1 was successful, but 4 takedowns already in the first round, or at least attempts. Masio getting that block gauge fairly low, trying to gain his distance, but able to get punished, but he works towards the body, not able to fully capitalize, but 20 seconds left here, Boiler.
Good body counter, didn't register too much damage, but he's getting a little bit of stamina. There you go. Great counters. Got to keep that up, Masaya.
And that is going to be punishing as the face is bloody for Fear Mixups. He's about to face Fear itself. Because right now, total strikes, significant strikes, all in favor of EK Masio from the EK camp. And for Mixups, he's doing a lot of takedowns. He did 4. He only landed 1. Do you still continue to try to do those takedowns? Because you know you're not really having much success in the stand-up game.
I mean, one time he got a great takedown. And he got, he gave up his position so quickly. But he's getting tagged on the feet, Kingsley. I don't know if he can stand the whole time, but he hasn't been able to get a second takedown yet. So let's see if he can get that here in the second round.
Yeah, new round, new opportunity to get the takedown for Mixups, but Mixups still needs to be very patient. He was able to get some good combinations on the feet, but that block gauge being low, the hooks landing for EK Masio. As the uppercut landing, as it was like a little bit of a feint from Mixups, but it landed straight into the uppercut. Body shots not really coming out hot, but the connections for the takedown. Can he get it? He gets denied once again, the 5th time. Still not as successful for Mixups, but Mixups still trying to find his way back in. Now going to the clinch a little bit there, Boiler.
That was a close takedown. I thought that takedown was going to score, but good defense by Masao, just by a hair. Able to stuff it.
Still stuffing it, and you think it's about time he gets a nice pull away, able to deny, and Masao is using a lot of stamina. He's missing a little bit. Oh, an axe kick right there from Mixups. He's going to the well a little bit, going to his repertoire of tricks for Umar Nurmagomedov, but that could be really interesting if he goes for the home run hit as he gets a takedown. Perfect opportunity, makes the opponent whip and able to get the takedown.
Beautiful. Got stuff there, though. He's got a lot of time to work with, but can he do anything here? Masao's probably got some really good defense from the bottom. And just he says that I cursed him, and he gets full mounted.
Oh, and another denial for Mixups. Is Mixups going for the submission? Oh, but gets denied, though, into a full mount, and this could be troubling. If he goes for a posture out, this could be heavy damage. And here we go, the opportunity is right there. Trying to get the block. 1 strike lands, 2, maybe 3. Give him a 4-piece along with a 5. Doing a lot of stamina, but gets the head help blinking for Masao.
Big shots. Mixups has just enough stamina where he can still uncork long, nasty combinations on the ground, and that was doing some big time damage. He can land another series like that here, but in the second round, he's definitely going to win this round and do some real damage. Going for submissions, though.
Yeah, and it's part of the repertoire. It's trying to be versatile on the ground game. Going for submissions, going for the posture up, striking as much as he possibly can. While Masio taking his time. He's trying to use every avenue in his repertoire, trying to find his way back up with 1 minute left. He done so well with the striking. It was just one mistake that got him to this position as Umar Nurmagomedov is doing such a nice job, but there's the reversal. Right. Masio finally on top. Now he has a chance with a posture out opportunity. Landing the strikes, has one, gets knocked, second one, third one landing, and that head help is blinking. That's a nice answer for Masio, especially from the ground game onslaught early on.
Yeah, he stuttered. He that timing on that ground and pound was great. He wasn't just spamming buttons. I liked it a lot.
Well, let's see. He tries to go for another opportunity. He has 7 seconds left. Maybe one more chance for a pause round, but he's just going to take it into the third and final round. Close rounds. We saw the benefit of getting that takedown 1 for 6 that we saw in totality for Mixups, but he was able to do a lot of damage when he was on the ground.
He was. People are asking, is mount bobbling allowed? Was that mount bobbling? Long story short, mount bobbling is not allowed. After a fight, an appeal can be lodged. We don't try to make the call here live, and we just tell them to keep fighting it out. But anyone thinks there's mount bobbling or other illegal things, it has to be the fighter that makes the appeal, not just the crowd out there, though. The peanut gallery, we love you guys, but the fighter has to file an appeal with the ESFL. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if they could leave it all out here in the octagon. These two fighters are trying to fight in the arena, and right now Mixups able to get the combination and takes him down into side control, trying to take it all the way out. But here we go. We see Masio trying to find his way back up from the sprawl, but not able to do it. But Mixups, to his detriment, the stamina is lower compared to EK Masio, but again, we saw the stand-up game was Masio's bread and butter, but when it comes to the ground game, the ground and pound is where Mixups comes to inflict the fear onto his opponents.
That was great work in that back flat. It wasn't able to get too much damage, but great work there by Mixups. He wishes he had a little bit more stamina, but you only got what you got. He's got to use it all right now, Kingsley. Last round.
Yeah, and there's a lot of time for Masio to get back up, but how do you do it? How do you connect the dots when you figure out your opponent? Because he was able to get the reversal in the second round, but Mixups doing such a nice job of just standing up. If he gets 1 or 2 posture up opportunities, he might have another chance. Tries to go for the full mount, gets denied. This could be a chance for Masio, but not able to fully take it as we're still at a standstill here, Bowie.
I thought he was going to be able to get up for sure, but he didn't. Still, now he gets.
Oh, there we go. And let's see how this connects. Masio cannot get rocked again. He cannot get taken down. He needs to put the pedal to the metal to win it. But a nice little roundhouse kick from Mixups is going to take his opportunity to find his way back. But that blockage is going to be low. The stamina, he can't afford to be in the trade. He needs to count his opportunities and punish his opponent. The uppercut will not do justice as a hook barely almost connects. Uppercut landing, but only takes halfway of the head health.
If Mixups can score a knockdown here without being knocked down himself, he has a chance to win this fight.
Oh!
Let's say that he gets knocked down.
The trade is not where Mixups needed to be, and he took 1 too many punches, and now the hooks, and now the striking is out of Masio's hands. Masio doing such a nice job, 130 left. He has all the stamina. He is pushing forward with little stamina forward, and Mixups trying to fight for his life because we don't know how this is going to go, but an uppercut will land. He is fighting back. 1:05 left. Mixups gets rocked back and forth as he gets knocked down. Masio for the brink of the ground game, trying to end it with the ground game. 50 seconds left. There's only a sliver left. And right now, we're going back to the set with 40 seconds left.
Mixups alive. I don't know how. Heart of a warrior. First fight of the night. Out again. 30 seconds to go. Kingsley.
Again, he's trying to seal the deal, and he will seal the deal. Masio, even though he's a long-time vet, he is nothing like a spring chicken as he gets his first victory of Season 2 for the Xbox scene.
Very fun way to start the card. These guys didn't even know that they were going to be the opener, which in my opinion, the opener is an honorable spot to get. You got to kick it off with a hell of a fight. And hey, these guys delivered. Even if they didn't know that, they were put on the spot straight away, opened the card the right way, and they definitely did, Kingsley.
Yeah, it was insane, right? We saw that the opportunity changed when we saw that stand-up. It went back and forth on the stand-up game, and we saw Mixups. he still felt comfortable, like, okay, if I got a rock, maybe I could bring that opponent down. But when Masio realized from round 1 to round 3, he figured out a way, like, okay, if I just work on that head health, I work on the stamina, I'm gonna knock him down so many times. I'm surprised we didn't see Mitchie try to go for another takedown, or at least change it up, because it was so close to the like the timing. It was like 25 seconds left until we got to the scorecards. And I don't even think like how the judges were going to score that, because it could have been 1-1 going into that third and final round.
I think it probably was, honestly. And when Mitchie goes back and takes a look at this at the tape, he's gonna regret giving up that great position early in that first round. That could have changed everything. Not only the damage he took, the points scored, but the stamina. But that's why you got to scrap it out. That's why they fight. Maseo did a great job as well. That really fun fight. Both guys, don't worry, you'll be seeing them again here in the Xbox season, Kingsley.
Absolutely. And again, welcome everybody. If you just tuning in for this ESFL Sunday, I am your host, Kingsley. Alongside me is Boiler. We are here live with ESFL 185, where we're going to crown a new interim Xbox champion for this event. We have a 4-man tournament coming up in the co-main and the main event, where we're going to figure out who's going to be the new interim challenger and champion, who's going to face Swap Jamie in a later card down the line. But we still have so many people on this card. We have Gamp, Maxi, Leo, Trixie, so many. JC21 is even on this card. It's going to be such an amazing sight to see all these fights. And if that fight was any cause to see what the action is going to be for this card, you're going to be in for a treat. But I think we are ready for our next fight, if I'm correct. Yep. I want to. This is our fight one, so we're going a little bit back on the card. You saw this as our first fight, but we went to our second fight first. Now we're going to go straight in back into the beginning of the order, as we're going to have Cleaning Tuba going against Evo, aka Panda, and Boiler. This is another like interesting fight, because we don't really know much. They have fought and they lost, but they're looking to get that elusive win for their next victory.
They are. I'll call him out right here. Cleaning Tuba fell asleep and was a little late, but woke up just in time to get here. He'll get a warning, not a full demerit, but it's close, man. One more of those would have to get a demerit. That's all right, though. They are ready to rock. Evo versus Cleaning Tuba. So Cleaning Tuba last week had, I think he was kind of like the debutant of the card. He went up against Treehouse and almost subbed Tree. Tree came back, got the submission victory himself, but this dude was going move for move against Treehouse, so he's legit. Evo, aka Panda, he went 3-0 in season 1. He did lose last week versus Ollie ADP, who's total stud, top 10. So both these guys legit.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how legit they are in this kind of contest, because again, Panda Evo is on the left side using Ilya Topuria, while Mixups is being used by Cleaning Tuba on the right. And already a fighting knee out of nowhere. We know that last season he was 3-0 in the first season of the Xbox series on this ESFL UFC 5 whole calendar. But right now, when you take a loss like that, especially against Treehouse, when you're trying to make a name for yourself, we saw that flying knee coming in. What do you expect Evo to do in this kind of contest? Do you want him to like push the pressure, but now the pressure is on him, because Clean Tuba is trying to go for a submission right here, but rocking up a good denial so far.
Very good denial. He must have known that was coming. If he did that off reaction, that's very impressive. Maybe he pre-denied it. Regardless, you got to respect Cleaning Tuba's ground game. He's already trying to, pull into guard and get some arm bar maybe. So his submissions and grappling are sick. Now the question is, how good is his striking? Well, you already put Evo on his butt once, so it seems like his striking ain't that bad.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if he can continue that, because right now he is scoring on the head of Panda. Panda needs to find a way to just answer back. This pressure kind of got him in danger, and it does it again. The pressure, but no result for him, as we see Cleaning Tuba just cleaning the house against this point. That left hook has been paying dividends so far in this first round, and we're not even approaching the 2-minute mark of this contest here, Boiler.
Hey, honestly, taking a nap before competition is not always a bad thing. I bet some psychologists would say it's a good thing if you show up on time. So make sure you set a few alarms. But he's looking fresh. He's not looking groggy. Let's say that.
Yeah, good denial by Evo. But Evo, this is where he got in trouble, playing his phone booth. He's trying to use the hooks to his benefit, but now he's the one backing up after getting rocked twice in this contest. A minute 30, tries to go for a front kick, not able to land. That blockade just being low. The body uppercut working nicely. Clean Tuba picking his shots. It's like everything has a deliberate punching, and it's working to his benefit. He's not just throwing things out just to get that blockade. He's looking to do damage. He's doing it again, along with a spear takedown, and now into side control. Clayton Tuba is cleaning house so far.
He said it perfectly. He's picking every shot, very deliberate, not even throwing that much volume, but these huge hammers are landing perfect precision and timing. I love it. And now he's full mount with 35 seconds, Kingsley.
Yeah, let's see if we can get that posture up, but now push back into half guard. This is where you can just work with the body. You can just keep punching like this, and you know what? It may not score much of the judges' scorecards, but it will damage that body. It will set up body kicks for later on future rounds. But now the posture opportunity tries to get something, but gets a slap into almost a submission attempt. Almost got baited by the animation. It's been a while. It's been a while. We're still working into it, but look at that. Full blue bars where you look at that stats. Everything has been in favor of Clean Tuba, and Evo needs to have a wake-up call in the second round.
Yeah, I don't even know how I have any advice for him. Just don't fight like you did in the first round. How about that? That was a tough first round. There you go. Good counter. Maybe step back. Try to use some speed because you obviously can't go blow for blow. And you already got some nasty damage on that eye, on that right eye from the rear hook. Clean Tuba's just been crushing him the whole fight, so he's got to avoid that.
Yeah, and as long with the hooks, it's the double jabs. It's disrupting that block gauge. And when he sees his opponent get like super close, there's really not much that he could possibly do. Evo just getting backed all the way to the back of the octagon cage, and then where he had nowhere to go, he just got taken down, and now we're back in a very precarious situation for Evo.
Love to see it. Cleaning Tuba, very cerebral. He's scored a couple big-time takedowns that his hands set up. He was landing some good strikes, kind of putting some fear into his opponent. Bam, takedown. He did that twice so far, and that was probably the best one right there.
Yeah, you have to think, even though you want to be patient, time is of the essence. The sooner you get back up, the sooner you have a better chance of like getting your striking going, but when you're getting dominated this much, especially when it comes to striking game, maybe it's good to just try to find a way to reverse, because now in the full mount, maybe you can find an opportunity to get back up or maybe push it, but another denial from Clean Tuba. Tuba is just having his way, trying to go for his submission attempt, and there's stamina that's not going to be working into Evo's favor. I mean, this is where he doesn't want to be, and let's see how big of a chunk of that submission bar is going to be gone. Almost halfway, and I feel like the next time we see it, it's going to be completely over. Evo on his last chance right here.
Yeah, I think that's like 60, 66%. So one more will definitely put him out.
Yeah, in under 2 minutes, still plenty of time, still having that submission denial, and now going for another one, going for a triangle attempt, and that stamina is just draining all the way down, and it looks like this might be the nail in the coffin. Cleaning Tuba gets the submission and the victory, finally pulling 500, becoming 1-1. And you said he was a debutant on the last card. Now he's now making him name for himself, again, the victory.
No joke. Great ground game and his stand-up. I mean, trust me, Evo is no joke at all. 3-0 last season. Did lose the opener last week, but that was against Ollie ADP, who's, again, a top 10 dude. So Evo having some big time trouble on the stand-up, but that doesn't mean it's going to be easier with Cleaning Tuba. I would say Cleaning Tuba is the second best ground guy we've seen, with Tree probably being the #1 ground guy. Now there's a few folks maybe in the tournament that would say that they got a better ground game than any of these dudes, but from what I've seen, at least this season, Treehouse is the #1 grappler. Cleaning Tuba just cemented himself as the second best grappler. Made it look pretty easy, to be honest, Kingsley.
Well, you know what's the beauty of that? Is that we're going to have to find out later in the future cards in the ESFL. So be sure to tune in on YouTube, on Twitch, join our Discord, and sign up if you ever want to be in the future part of these cards, and maybe in our affiliate leagues. We love to have you guys here and spread the love around the whole community, because we love being around this so much. But now, let's get ready for our next fight, because our next fight is ready to go. They're in the 5 selection lobby.
Right.
It's going to be Shaker-san going against Apollo. Both guys making their debut, but a last-second replacement coming in to start here, Boylan.
Yeah, they are, and we will definitely ensure that they get the music off in the future, but they are brand new to this. I said, go ahead, lock in, boys. The music will turn off. Hopefully, the other sound effects are on be hilarious. Everything else is at 0%. Anyway, Apollo has fought in the ESFL, but this is his Xbox, I guess, comp play debut for the season. And Shank, ESFL debut, came highly recommended. We had over 100 applications for the roster. We added, I don't know, like a third or less, probably like a quarter or less people, and he made the cut, came highly recommended. So both are 0-0. Who can pick up their first dub of the season? We'll find out now.
Yeah, let's see how it goes out, as it's a classic matchup of Anderson Silva versus Izzy Adesanya. Shank in the left side using Anderson Silva, the legend, going against Apollo, who is on the right side using Izzy Adesanya. We'll have to see how this all goes down, but I love that we're already seeing kicks. I love that we're seeing body work going towards the body, not just trying to say head hunting, but not only are they not moving back, they're moving around the center of the octagon. They're trying to stay in each other's disses a little bit. And hey, finally a leg kick. If all of these fights, we finally see a leg kick, I always love to see that. So let's see who's going to use their strategy. We see Shank using those head kicks twice, and I feel like he's going to be more of a home run here compared to its opponent.
I like it. Like you said, both are going for the body. They're going a little upstairs too, but technical, mixing it up, and already body hunting, especially Apollo, who's landed a couple big shots to Shank's body.
Yeah, and every time we saw the leg kick, it seems like, oh, the perfect body shot right there from Apollo. If the body can't fall down, the head won't either. And so you have to start working with the body, and it's working so well for Apollo there.
That was great stuff, man. I love body work, whether it's boxing or MMA, just solid body work is just one of my favorite techniques. And, it, add up over time, but sometimes you can land in such a perfect shot, you don't have to put money in the bank. It can start to reap rewards immediately.
Yeah, and the main thing is that I love what Apollo's doing with distance, right? The way he saw that, like, flash body rock was the distance, but it came to his detriment as Shank finally has a chance to answer back with a rock, but not able to fully capitalize, as there's 1:40 left in this first round right here. It's still highly contested, still very close for both guys, as they still have an opportunity. We saw one get opportunity, but the punishment from Apollo, able to get a nice combination, but needs to be very careful. Both trades could be very costly for both opponents. And as you see, the kicks right there, the kicks in that range is not working well for Shank, as Apollo's reading it every single time. Yeah,
this matchup is always fun. Anderson versus Izzy. Oh, man. That was close. I thought he was going to get knocked out of the octagon there, maybe. But big shots land. Shank's starting to come ahead on the damage now.
Yeah, I feel like he's finally felt his rhythm. Maybe the jitters were on in the first parts of this round, but with 25 seconds left in this first round, what can Apollo do? How can he answer back? Can he find his way to get into the grill of Shank? But Shank still find his way back in. 10 seconds, maybe he goes for another head kick. Maybe his opponent's not expecting it, tries to duck down. Able to avoid it, front kick landing. It's always those last couple of seconds where you have your opponent not thinking much about it. He's able to get it. Body health event goes in favor of Apollo, but Shank able to get 2 stuns in rocks, so we'll have to see if that goes in favor. But total strength certificate was in favor of Apollo there, Boiler.
Apollo was chasing just a little bit too much at the end. He was trying to get in his grill, but he was getting step back countered, like that kick and a couple others. So you can't be predictable. You can't always be moving forward. You can't always be running away either. That's boring for anything. But long story short, Apollo's got to mix it up a little bit. Damn! If he becomes predictable, he's going to get countered bad.
Asking you shall receive a nice uppercut when you saw Izzy ducking down, and now the hooks are coming. Shank is ready to combat, but he needs to be very careful. He used a lot of stamina trying to go for the elbow, and Apollo trying to capitalize on that. He has his opponent's back to the cage. He's trying to swarm his opponent, but his opponent able to get out, trying to use the body kick, and now brings him to the back of the cage, trying to bring him closer and closer, trying to close in that distance. Apollo tries to smell blood in the water, tries to use the uppercut, not able to get the full effect of it. Meanwhile, Shanks still being calm, still being measured, trying to use the pull, trying to answer back, but needs to watch out for the leg kicks. Oh, good head kick into a nice little jab. That's going to work well for Apollo, but still highly close in his second round right here, Bolo.
Yep, almost halfway done with the fight. I suppose Shank's in the advantage, but all it takes is ducking into one kick like that. That could have been like a knockout. He got lucky.
Yeah, all the ducks have been very bad for both opponents. front kicks were able to land. Uppercut was landed on Apollo. Now it's all about, can you make the right move? And that's the right move. Apollo, we might have left off as he was able to knock down his opponent one more time, but we'll have to see if he can do it again. He needs to start the engines. He needs the rocket fuel to get him a victory in this contest. But Shank is trying to tell Flight Control to ground the plane right now. He wants to make sure that he doesn't get knocked down again. He's still pressuring forward with the leg kicks, but not able to get the full extent. That block gauge is very low. Apollo trying to use his stamina, working towards the body, but both guys are very close to the button, and a right hook landing with the body shots. Moving forward, Apollo has his opponent back to the cage. He wants to answer back, but he can't answer back with a rock like that. Shank able to answer back. Both guys are going back and forth like it's non-stop slobber knocker.
This could be a fight of the night. We're going to have to remember this one. It's early in the card, but they're already contender. Great back and forth. Pretty technical, but in the end, a slobber knocker, Kingsley.
1:05 left, and an uppercut landing for Shank, able to get another rock and a knockdown. Apollo needs to be on his P's and Q's. He needs to find the right avenue. What can he possibly do? His block is slow. The distance of that straight was pitch perfect with 40 seconds left. Apollo needs to find a way to capitalize, but he can't get too money hungry. He can't go for the cash money right there. Shanks still find his way, able to duck down, sees the opponent's stamina very low, works towards the body, trying to bring his stamina fairly low. 10 seconds left. Watch for the front kick, watch for the head kick. It could come out with 4 seconds left. Could he possibly do something? We were just gonna go to the third and final round, and just catch your breath, everybody, because it's about to be a big one.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe that they're both standing after that. They both got hit so many times with so many high vulnerability strikes, and they're both just warriors. They're giving each other respect here, Kingsley. I love to see it. The best of both generations, right? Anderson Silva and kind of Izzy, the next iteration of Anderson. I won't say he's at the same level, but you know, he's still a badass, and these two styles are just so fun to watch.
Yeah, buckle your seatbelts, everybody. As soon as we get done with this load screen, we're in for a roller coaster ride in this contest, because the first round, you could say it was all Apollo. Then the next round, it was all Shank. Now in this third round, both guys have been rocked. Both guys have been knocked down. Who is going to make that costly mistake? The uppercut did land for Apollo. He was able to answer it back with a little bit of his stuff. He sees that block gauge being very low, but Shank gonna be very calm. He needs to gauge the distance, working towards the body, and that worked very perfectly. And now he has a capitalization. The knockdown. Shank says, reap your benefits as he gets the win. Hey. It was as close as possibly can be, but the 20 seconds in that third round, all respect to the world, but Shank was able to ground Apollo in that contest.
Shank, killer instinct, had to get the finish there. Herb Dean jumped in front of him. There you can see Herb Dean. There's no animation to Herb on the replay. That's all right. Hell of a fight, guys. All around, one that we got to consider for fight of the night. And remember, last week I gave out 2 fights of the night, so I'm not saying we're going to give 2 fights of the night necessarily this week, but if we keep having fights like that the whole time, might have to give out multiple fights of the nights, maybe other performances. But Shankerson, his debut in the ESFL is a victory in one of the better fights of the undercard I've seen for quite a while there, Kingsley.
Yeah, it was very interesting to see. Both guys were just going crazy. It seemed back and forth. When Apollo had that second round, had the distance and just landed with a straight, I was like, oh my god, this might actually be it. That might be the finish. But I'm gonna put respect in your name, because I feel bad. I see him in the chat. He's saying like, I just tuned in. I see these guys butcher my name. That's why you got to tell us beforehand, so we make sure we get that name correctly. So respect to you. Congratulations on your win. But hopefully on the next card, when we come to your fight, we'll get that name right and put some respect in your name, because that was a hell of a contest and a hell of a potential fight of the night contender. So we appreciate you for tuning in and putting on such a hellacious fight. But Boiler, we still got plenty of more fights to go. It's still gonna be amazing. We see all these guys making their debut in this season. We're still gonna have another debut fight, which have been probably our best fights so far this whole card. We have Pigeon going against Striken. Hopefully I'm saying that right. But these guys are both making their debuts. What can we expect in this unexpected welterweight fight?
We got to do what John Anik does and have the fighters have themselves saying their name. That's the official name, because we're guessing half the time, but we'll try to make that edit. You know, this fight, we got Striking, I think we're saying it right, versus Pigeon. You can see here on the record, 19-8. So they're not strangers to one another. And we got Robbie Lawler, UFC 195. Robbie, I love this is the one against Rory McDonald, I believe. That version versus De La Madalena. Here we go, Kings. Let's make it happen. Let's take a look at the scout reports super quick. Oh, wait. ESFL debut for both of them.
Which is the most dangerous scouting report to possibly have in an ESFL contest, because there's no tape, there's no studying. What you see is what you're going to get. In Striking's on the left side using Robbie Lawler on the black trunks, and then Pigeon on the right using De La Madalena on the right. And so far, I don't think we're going to see any takedowns. I feel like we're just going to see just non-stop kickboxing and boxing in this round. Both guys staying in the center of the octagon, using some knees, but you got to be very careful using those knees, because Robbie Lawler could easily punish that with some hooks.
Oh, yeah, he hits hard, especially if he gets that perfect range on you. Haven't seen Robbie in ESFL comp play for quite a while. I don't even know if in 2025. And I love Robbie, so I'm glad to see this. I'll try to not be biased there towards Striking, towards Robbie, but I agree with you. Not expecting any takedowns anytime soon. We'll find out, though.
Yeah, but the one interesting point, we saw this like maybe 5 seconds ago when it was close to the phone booth. Robbie Lawler able to hit like 3 hooks onto the face of Pigeon, and Pigeon needs to be very careful of fighting in this phone booth out, because this is the bread and butter of the Robbie Lawler pick. This is what you know you're going to charge it for, and you're just going to take some punishment, but you're going to give it easily back, maybe twice as much, as both guys are fighting in the straight. But right now, Pigeon got a good ending strike against Striking, so what can he possibly do? He's looking for those kicks. He's looking for the body shots, but he needs to be very careful. That block gaze could only hold up for so long, especially in the first round. We can already see it being in detriment. He needs to let it go, but both guys fighting super close, and those hooks are working really well for Striking.
Yeah, he's stalking him patiently, too, and not letting he's using Robbie's footwork super well, not letting Pigeon get around him and keeping him towards the fence. I like it a lot. No distance, no ability to really counter for Pigeon at this rate.
And it's not like he's overcommitting with his shots, right? Like when he's in this situation right here, he's like, maybe 1-2, but I'm walking with you. Every time you're trying to make a move to get out of the cage, I'm walking step by step, keeping his back to the cage, which is an underrated part of this game, where you need to like mentally think of your opponent. If you like him in that position, try to keep him in that position. Don't give him any quarter if you're having success. Pigeon was able to finally get out and get to the center of the octagon, but just the footwork, the movement is going really nicely for Striking. With under 1 minute, Pigeon needs to find an answer real quick.
Yeah, maybe he does need to try to go for a takedown, or at least mix some things up, because this first 4 minutes of the fight, not going his way.
Good head kick there, but we'll have to see. 30 seconds left, the most dangerous seconds in the ESFL, because you never know when your opponent's going to just pull out something crazy. Nice 1-2 from Pigeon. Pigeon trying to answer back. Watch this for the pull. Not going to overcommit to his strikes just yet, but Striking still prowling, still on the pursuit to get a very nice strike to end this round right here. Trying to go for a combination. That's how we're going to end it. So far, we would say that was Striking's round, but for Pigeon, what does he need to do to get out the distance of Striking?
He's being stalked, and anything that he's doing is being mirrored by his opponent. So how exactly he can break that cadence up, I'm not sure, but he's got to change up the timing and either just become a lot more volume or just super defensive. I think the volume is what he's going for right here. We just started chucking.
Yeah, oh, the pull into the body, into the head. What a delicious combination from Striking. Able to get another rock onto Pigeon. And now Pigeon trying to answer back. Gets a nice uppercut. That will do damage. And now you feel the confidence kind of building for Pigeon after getting rocked a little bit. Goes for uppercut. But when you trade with Robbie, you need to prepare yourself, because it will be damaging there, Boiler.
Yeah, and so it's out of the frying pan into the fire. Oh my gosh, this could be a knockout right here.
There's still life for Pigeon, but man, it was a pull after a slip, after another pull, and Striker was able to get the benefit, able to get the final strike. But now we've seen the Ducks coming from Pigeon. Pigeon trying to use the front kick, trying to gauge the distance a little bit. But when you do double jabs, but that overhand, that's the fourth time he used that overhand. He's trying to end it with a knockout, but a head kick would pinpoint a nice comeback. But he starts to go for an overhand himself. Pigeon trying to see what he could possibly do, trying to go for the home run hit, but not able to fully capitalize there, Boiler.
It's just not done yet. He's trying to land some counters, trying to set up some traps, trying to go out on his shield at least. So he ain't giving up, even though he's starting to wear a little bit worse. Here at this halfway point, let's see if he can set a trap, hits the ground immediately.
It was that one pinpoint where both guys think of pressing the same button, and one is just a little bit faster. And that's what happened for Striking, able to get that knockdown. And you could just see the crimson mask of Pigeon just all bloody up. Meanwhile, Striking, Robbie Lawler is clean as a whistle. Maybe he has a bruising, but the bruising is on the opposite side as an uppercut lands.
Wow.
But Pigeon, for some way, for some reason, even though he might have a mouse under his eye and everything's all bruised up, he is still in this fight. I don't think Jason Herzog is going to call this fight at the end. It might be done here as Striking going towards his name, trying to end the fight right here. Everything is blinking for Pigeon, but for some reason he is still alive. A puddle of blood is under his face. Can he survive any of it? And he cannot, as Striking lives up to his name and gets the victory.
And he was putting a bigger beating than he did against Rory McDonald back in the day. Like that is a career-ending beating. I blame the corner for not throwing in the towel after the second knockdown. He just took unnecessary damage right here. Look at that, right behind the ear.
It kind of reminded me, I don't know if you saw the UFC card yesterday, but that one fight where the guy had like the huge like fracture orbital bone, and it was like a big like mouse like under his eye, and it was like, continue fighting.
Hey, all right.
You're all right. We'll call it in the second round. But
oh man,
crazy fight. I mean, kudos for Pittsburgh for staying in there, but Striking from the get-go, putting the pressure, using the footwork, knowing that the trades were going to be in his benefit, using the Robbie Lawler, able to use the hooks at first, but then when he saw those uppercuts landing, it was all she wrote. And you know what? Maybe in the next card, maybe he'll face another striker, and we'll see if he's up to the level of competition that he showed in that contest there.
And this roster is full of killers, and the roster is full. Too full. We need some room. We need some guys to get cut. So my point is, every single fight matters, win or loss, and how you show. So long story short, great fight by both guys. But that victory, that's what counts in the end, Kingsley, and he got it. So here we go.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if other people can live up to their name, because we still have another fight, and it's both guys making their debut. But this one has a very interesting story because, you know, someone's been like in the chat has been saying like, oh, I would love to be a part of it. I want to be a part of this. Now he's finally get his chance, because this fight is a big one. It's Whispering Land going against King Jon Snow, which you have a lot of history with, especially in the chat. So talk a little bit about these two competitors right here, Boiler.
Yeah, King Jon Snow tried to catch me for the most gifted subs and cheer bit points. I think I got a pretty big lead on it. I am an owner of the company. So anyway, though, King Jon Snow, always been a big-time supporter, and now it's his time to debut on the ESFL. But he got a lot of legit vouchers on the application. I promise you, he didn't just buy his way in. Legit fighter, absolutely. Guess what? He almost lost his fight today. Opponent had to pull out, but we were able to get Whispering Ian. I think it's Whispering Ian. Is that what we're going with? BK Ian versus King Jon Snow.
Ian, it's not Lana. I could be like, if it's an I, then. Whoopsie.
I believe that's an I. I hate that the I's and L's look so similar. You know how it goes. But almost with Whispering Ian versus King Jon Snow.
Okay, so just to correct myself, Whispering Ian is going to be on the left side using Peter Yan, which we saw had a lot of success in the earlier of this card. Meanwhile, King Jon Snow. So you want to be an ESFL fighter? This is your one chance using Disrali. He's going to have his chance on the right side. And right now, they're already a kick coming with a bravado. We'll have to see what goes out for both these competitors. But again, The best scout report is that there's no tape on you. You could use your
Right.
game plan as much as you want. This is your telling point of how you want to be an ESFL fighter. But right now, a good takedown for King Jon Snow as he's going to the top game. Let's see if he can do anything about it, but a nice reversal from Whipper Ian.
Yeah, man, that's a change of circumstances very quickly with only a minute into the fight. I don't know. That's got to be so disheartening when you get that great position. And whoop, you just flipped right over inside control, and now he takes full mount there, Kingston.
Yeah, and we'll have to see. But meanwhile, we might have a change, but a full mount right here. And this could be troubling for King Jon Snow as he's going to get hit up. He's using a lot of his blockades, but now he's getting pieced up. The hooks are just so detrimental. But Ian doing such a nice job, especially after going for the 10. Now, he didn't even want to go to the ground game, but if you have to take him there, he will bring it out. And now he is answering back with 2 posture opportunities, and now gets the strike it going. And King Jon Snow, 3 straight posture. He has been getting pieced up right here. This is very bad for King Jon Snow.
Man, top mount is so powerful. Piotr Jan has some pretty good ground and pound stats as well. So all it takes is a few big shots, and you're gonna be rocked all of a sudden.
Geez.
This is taking a toll on John right here.
Yeah, it feels like with 2 minutes remaining, King Jon Snow just needs to pray to God he gets to the second round. Because he's not denying any possible opportunities. This is the 5th run, and that head health and block health is going lower by the second here, Boiler. This is not great. And his second round is fairly a lot. Even though he's able to get a half guard, too little too late, because that's possible. He's back in the full mount here, Boiler. I don't know what to say here.
Oh, man. He only had a minute left, but he's back in the same position. He should just try to stall out and play defense. That's what I would try to do with a minute left. Just do everything you can not to take more damage till the round ends.
And how deflating is it when you're the one who goes for the takedown and now you can't get out from the ground game and you're getting posture up for a 6th or 7th straight time and you're taking damage like nobody's business. He has to pray that these 30 seconds are gone. He's able to get the block, the elbows, everything. The doctor bag is at orange. He can't get out of it, Boiler. He's just stuck in a constant loop like deja vu in this posture up opportunity.
Rough, man. He panicked a little bit there. Lost a couple denials, a little stamina. Didn't take much more damage. It took a little bit like that. After that elbow was gnarly, but after that was able to sort of, kind of stall out, but almost worst case scenario for King Jon Snow in that first round.
I don't think we've seen like a single scratch on Whimpering Ian. Like he is going to be just like, oh, I have a little bit of sweat, have a little bit of drops. I'm fine. Everything has been on damage on King Jon Snow. Now he has his chance. What can you do in the second round? You have to just put that as a blank slate. It might be a 10-8 round for Whimpering, but what can you do? You can't go to the ground again. You need to find a way to strike your way out. And right now, he is getting pieced up. Now Ian has all the confidence in the world, and now he's sticking to his opponent, but needs to be very careful. That straight did do some damage. King Jon Snow gets some successful strikes to his opponent.
Yeah, man. If he's really ESFL worthy, he's got to prove it right now by at least gaining some respect of his opponent, doing a little bit of damage. He's way behind on the scorecards and damage and all that, but we got to see that he's a real competitor right now. He's got to dig deep, man.
Yeah, and we saw in the lower third, 40% strike percentage for Whimpering Ian. He is just piecing up his opponent, and the input and output has to be extraordinary compared to King Jon Snow. Oh, wait a minute!
Yeah.
Maybe the validation is here. 2 uppercuts landing onto Ian. Ian maybe got a little bit too careless. Now King Jon Snow says, I am king of the north right now, trying to find his way back, facing a White Walker in the damage of the ground game, trying to find his way back. He can't afford a trade, and he gets rocked himself. Ian maybe woken up. Maybe the knockdown was huge, and now this is where he needs to piece it together. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Whimpering Ian try to go for a takedown there, but he's still staying the stand-up.
Oh, man. Well, King Jon Snow did dig deep, had a couple good flurries there, but then just took so much damage. I guess he decided he's going to stay on his feet and go out on his shield. Worst case scenario, but he lands a big one right there.
Screw his shield. He's landing with his sword right now, and that's his punches. As King Jon Snow still saying I could come back from the dead and still fight my way back, but needs to watch out for the trades. This distance is not going to be good for him. He needs to find a way to capitalize. Get the punch. Cuts these uppercuts. Will damage. Able to pull away, but King Jon Snow trying to find his way back out of this, but he's getting stalked around by Ian. Ian trying to find his way to not get his block gates disrupted. Using a lot of his stamina. The hooks not landing. Back and forth we go, but Ian able to get another rock. Overhead landing, but up kick changes everything with 120 left in the second round here, Boiler.
Beautiful overhand with the knockdown. Got the miracle up kick, saved his life. With a minute left, Ian's got to just make sure he doesn't fall into any traps. He's got a little bit of bloodlust. He wants to get the finish, but we've seen King Jon Snow can be very dangerous with some of those uppercuts and hooks.
Under 1 minute from the first round. We didn't expect much fight from King Jon Snow, but Ian proving to be game for the challenge, and now taunting his opponent with 30 seconds left, knowing that his opponent compromised, says bow down to the new king of the north, as whimpering Ian is not whimpering anymore. He makes his opponent whimper with a KO victory.
What a knockout, devastating. I mean, he landed so many big shots that it was inevitable. But you could tell King Jon Snow said, screw this, I ain't going out without at least chucking some leather, without getting some damage. And he got a knockdown or two. Looked like he was threatening his opponent. But, you know, we were able to see Ian buckle down, show that composure, which is the hardest part of ESFL. Trust me, I've competed in the ESFL. Hardest part is composure, not getting too high or too low. And he did that. Ian did that when he started to get, you know, take a couple lumps in that second round. Got his composure, finished his opponent. Great win.
Yeah, very good. And we all face in the ESFL before. I went 0-3 until I got like 3 straight wins. So like we know how tough it is to make your debut, to go in a fight, thinking you could do it, and then not really work it out your way. But I am proud of the way he fought back in that second round. Even though it seemed like it was gonna be all whimpering in, the fact that he was not gonna be like pouting away, he still got some damage. He was still able to get some rocks. So kudos for him for still staying in that fight. But the show, the spotlight deserves to be on the whimpering in. So good for him for getting that victory and getting that nice TKO. But we still got more fights to go. We're almost halfway through this card. ESFL 185. Again, our interim champion will be crowned at the co-main and main event, so be on the lookout for that here later tonight. But we are on to our 6th fight of this whole ESFL 185 card. It is going to be kind of a crazy fight right here, Boiler, as we have Bone doing work going against EK Drill Laza. If I'm saying that correctly, I could be mispronouncing that wrong, but these guys, we've seen Bone doing work doing some crazy fights.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be a hell of a fight right here.
I think both these dudes are from New York for some reason. I may be getting them confused, but I feel like they're kind of similar in personality, the way they talk and stuff. We'll see how they fight, see if they have similar styles. But Izzy versus Anderson Silva, we've already seen this matchup today, but like I said, it's one of my favorite matchups to see, so I don't mind seeing it again. I mean, we used to see mirror matches. We've banned those, thankfully. One of the best decisions we ever made. But yeah, Bone doing work's done a lot of work, both in UFC 4 as well as in Undisputed Boxing. But this is his Xbox Season 2 debut right here.
Yeah, and we'll have to see again, Drilla on the left side using Izzy Adesanya, Bone doing work using Anderson Silva, the tried and true legend that we know could do a lot of damage. And just to clarify, just to go back for more, we saw you commenting in the chat. It was actually the guy who did the ground and pound. He actually won the fight. He was on the other side. He was able to get that victory. So just to clarify for people who might be questioning or want to answer that question. But back to this fight, Bone doing work. We know that he's part of the No Sam gang. He will go absolutely nuts in these fights. Whether he wins or loses, he's trying to put an entertaining fight. But for EK Drilla, for him, I would say, let's see what he does with his pressure. Because he has his opponents back to the cage. I want to see if he's going to use the kicks. Is he going to use the slams? Because that's a perfect move. Able to use the body shots, able to use the kicks, using that distance. This is looking up to be a very resourceful tactic for Drilla.
Yeah, he doesn't want to fall into the counters. He's doing a good job of using his length. So he's pushing forward, but he's not just throwing a bunch of lazy strikes to get countered. He's using his footwork to push forward, and starting to land. He's picking Bone apart a little bit.
Yeah, but we'll have to see. I mean, it's going to be a long contest, possibly. We don't know how it's going to go, but Drilla doing a nice job just staying his distance, but the leg kicks and now making his opponent switch a little bit. Going to the switch stance. Drilla has to figure out a way. Good head kick coming out from, but now Bone doing work. Maybe he has the power, the benefit of getting the 2 hooks landing onto his opponent, but Bone doing work. Still working the legs, and maybe that could be a key point. Maybe that's his avenue of getting success against his opponent, because right now, after those kicks, now his opponent has to worry about that and block a different way. Maybe take an extra second of the mental to catch up.
Usually, if you're going to dedicate damage and activity towards the legs, you got to stick with that game plan. So, you got to, sort of targeting it in the first round, but I feel like it's more to feint and set up other shots. We'll see how it evolves.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how much does Drilla lose in the power of Izzy from switching his stance. Because right now, when it comes to these trades, Bone's work might have the benefit, but now he switches his stance to match up, trying to go a little bit unorthodox style against his opponent. But Drilla still present for it, still going to the clinch. Has his opponent kind of fearing for his life. Trying to go for a clinch against Anderson Silva, which is a brave choice. Tries to go for a flying knee, not able to fully capitalize, but it seems like he's not deterred from going out of his game plan. He's still working for what he wants to do.
Drilla's been doing a good job of just getting that extra little bit of reach for the counter. She's using a little bit of extra speed and reach that Izzy seems to have over Anderson. Very close round. Who do you give it to?
Don't ask me. That's why I'm commentating, because I don't want to be a judge. Because when you see Bone doing work, he was able to get 2 hooks, and that was like a good, nice little shot. But I think the totality, you have to get the Drilla, right? Able to press forward, able to move his opponent off the center line and make sure he got some strikes in. I mean, the knees, the kicks were working, able to get the head kick when he had the chance. But hooks like that, coming from Bone doing work, it might deter him a little bit. But I think the whole round goes for Drilla. But again, that first round, done in the works. You don't need to win 1 round. Exactly. You need to win 2 rounds right here. And let's see if Bone doing work has any answers right here. Right now, the slips, the countering shots, the body work. It's working really nicely. We saw that Bone doing work was targeting the legs a little bit. And he's still staying this one stance. How long will it take for him to switch stances? Because that left leg is going down in health.
He's starting to chip away. Landed 3 shots on it. Not a ton of damage, but it will add up. One thing I agree that Drilla. Agree with Drilla. Big shot. Yeah,
nasty.
Man. We're stumbling and bumbling.
Oh, Drilla drilling his head in with knockdowns and into half guard. But man, Bone doing work. This is not what he wanted. He didn't want to fully deter himself from getting the benefit of the doubt, but now the pause round opportunity, and good for Drilla. He said he had success going to the stand-up game and still saying it, trying to get him to the second, but not able to get the full control. But here we go. What can Bone doing work to answer back? He tried to work on the legs, but now he got capitalized on that. Can Drilla close the distance?
Drilla's back to southpaw. I do like how he's protecting that leg, not letting it get critically damaged before switching stances. I think Izzy has a pretty good switch stance, I presume. Nice shot there.
Very good shot. Oh, good check. Finally a check coming from Drilla, making sure that his legs are not deterred from the footwork, but using the last 7 right there, even though he's getting a block gauge slow, not really fully capitalizing. Meanwhile, Bone doing work. Knows that he can't trade fully against his opponent. He has to make his opponent miss, but not like that. As Drilla putting on the pressure, make sure that he rounds up his opponent. Tries to go for a back elbow, not able to fully capitalize. Under 2 minutes remaining here. Tried to go for a slip right there, not able to fully get it. Good straight coming from Drilla. Drilla trying to end the whole fight right here, but not able to get it.
The Bone is taunting a little bit. I love it. He needs to land a flying knee while Drilla ducks into it. That's what he needs to go for right now.
Yeah, but I feel like both guys are thinking of a flying knee, right? Like, this is
Seriously.
2 competitors who will just go crazy when they say, like, I might not win this. Screw it. Let's go for some home run hitters. But with 1:10 left, Drilla still playing calm. Trying to get that slip in. Bone doing work. Being calm for the most part. Trying to work that hook in. Flying knee almost comes out, but not able to get the full extent. But that stamina is fairly low. Trying to go for the body shot, not able to get it. Bone to work, has his opponent back to the cage. What can he possibly do? But he lets him back out, which is an interesting tactic there. I thought he would have pressed on a little bit, especially with 30 seconds left to go there, bro.
Yeah, he figured he could prevent any damage coming his way, maybe land a little bit of damage, but he'd rather just throw it down in the middle of the octagon. Let's do it at this point. I love it.
Yeah, able to get a nice push body kick onto his opponent. Oh, tries to go for a head kick, but not getting the full extent of it. And this is where Bone Don't Work probably needs a finish to win this whole fight.
Yep. He does, and that flying knee is pretty easy to see coming, especially if you know it's coming in your top level. So that's a great point, Kingsley. What other traps or what other, like, we're looking for a home run hitter, a 10-8 round minimum, but really need a knockout, probably just from a single blow or a follow-up. What do you think you might be able to catch him with? You notice any trends or any maybe weaknesses? I haven't. But
I don't think it's a weakness, but is preemptively he's done a lot of slips to the left, right? So like maybe a head kick or a front kick could possibly be his opportunity, but he needs at least, first and foremost, he needs to make him miss one time. That first strike needs to be a miss in this third and final round to get his right striking in. But if Drilla finds a way to just stay calm and not force himself to slip the wrong way, maybe he has a chance. But he's staying in the same stance, so leg kicks could possibly work. But Bones and Work needs to do a lot more. Tries to go for a head kick there. Now he's getting the full extent. That blockage is still low. Is he? Oh, sidestepping around. 3 sidesteps from Bones and Work, but not getting the full extent of it. And he just wants to get away from the back of the cage. Front kick going to the body, but it still needs to be a lot more, because right now this is where he needs to make a miss. Going for a takedown right there, but gets denied. And so far, Drilla getting the rock, getting some shots in, but missing a lot. And this is where Bone Don't Work maybe finds his way. Maybe try to make him miss one more time. And there's the slip to the left. If he's able to land a hook, maybe that could be a chance, but he needs to use a lot of stamina there.
Right, if we can time an elbow or a hook nicely there, or some other type of counter elbow. Of course, Anderson's elbows are gnarly. Easier said than done, of course. Drilla's looking pretty accurate. And good composure. Big shot here. Drilla's looking fine here.
Yeah, from the home run hit, it's just been the combinations of Drilla. Every time he sees his opponent try to go in, he's like, all right, I know you can't really damage me. I'm going to hit you with these stack guards. I'm going to hit you with these punches. You could barely block, and I'm going to put some damage onto you. And he gets a denial right there into another stack guard. Bone Don't Work in trouble. And Drilla, EK Drilla, will end the fight with a TKO.
Good work. Killer instinct. Didn't fall into any of those traps we were calling out. Didn't fall into the bloodlust, was able to keep composed, and this is his ESFL debut. So again, that makes me feel good that we added these type of fighters to the roster who got it together. They've come up through the affiliate leagues, obviously being part of EK, is trained with the best of the best, so that composure translates under the bright lights. That's what I want to see, because a lot of fighters that are awesome in the gym don't show up like that in ESFL, but we're seeing that tonight. And also, debut by Drilla. Bone doing work. Shout out, of course. Great fight, buddy. We'll get you back in here, I'm sure. But Drilla, all about Drilla tonight with the dub, Kingsley.
Yeah, and you know what? It was a good debut for him. Now, along with his campmates who are possibly going to be fighting for the interim title, maybe he could put his name up there with a couple more wins in the season. Because again, it's all about who can get the title and also who could also get the defenses as well. So the higher you climb up that ladder, the more chances you're going to get to have a chance to get in the title fight. But we'll have to see. Still early on, it's your debut. It was a good showing against a vet. We'll have to see how everything goes on. And if someone has an appeal, they could just appeal in future cards. We'll have to see how that goes down. But we'll have to see how that all goes down. Because again, ladies and gentlemen, live on Twitch and on YouTube, I'm your host and commentator, Kingsley. Alongside me is Boiler. We are here live on ESFL Sunday, the #1 virtual fight capital in the world for ESFL 185. We are so excited to commentate this card and guide you through such an amazing time in the ESFL. This is season 2 of the Xbox side, where Suave Jamie is our current champion, but since he couldn't fight on this card, we're having an interim 4-man tournament in this co-main and main event. So a lot of things coming along with so many other vets coming in to like stake their claim and move up the ladder here, Boiler.
Yeah, it's a great mix of new blood with some, some fresh meat get in here, see if they got what what everyone says that they're worth on the application. They say they're worthy of the ESFL. Are they? This is the gut check. But the vets like JC21 and Keza and God Ate My Pig, all three of those guys were former Xbox champs in one way or another in UFC 4, but have had a tough go in UFC 5, or maybe haven't even fought in UFC 5 comp play. So seeing if they still got it a couple years later against the new blood, that's what I really like to see here. And of course, the 4-man tournament, looking forward to that. Seems that Kingsley, because I'm also wrangling back here while I'm doing commentary, it seems like Keza may have fallen asleep. Versus JC21, which is certainly bad news. We'll see if we can get Keza back. JC21 versus Keza was going to be one of the marquee fights of the prelims, so I'm totally bummed Keza's not there. In the meanwhile, we're trying to go to God Ate My Pig versus Kieran, potentially, but I believe God Ate My Pig, his stream is up. He sent the invite. Not sure where Kieran is either. So I'm going to go see if I can get a little wrangling going, make sure we get the next couple fights going. Kingsley, if you could, maybe you could just talk through who would be the fight of the night so far, and I'd like to hear what the chat has as fight of the night. Honestly, I think whoever chat says fight of the night, I'm going to give that award, and then at the end of the night, Kingsley, whoever you pick. So 2 fights of the night. I want to hear who's doing that. So, who do you pick so far tonight? I want to hear what chat does while I try to get the next fights online. Wish me luck.
Yeah, so sometimes it's live and we try to figure out and make sure the best product is here live for you guys and have all the excellent fights. But sometimes things happen, and shout out to Boiler for being the Swiss Army knife and being a man of many talents and trying to get all this thing set up. But in the meantime, you guys are here with us. We enjoy all of you guys joining here for us on Sunday, ESFL Sunday. We love have you guys here for Xbox season. But speaking of this card, because we have so many fights to go, let's talk about what has happened in this whole card entirely. Shoot, when we talk about fight of the night, we had some pretty good ones in the first 3 fights, right? We had Fear Mitch going against Masio as we were taking a look at the card up here as we speak. Masio, he's part of the EK camp, so he has all that wealth of knowledge. He's fighting the ESFL before, but this was his debut this season 2 for the Xbox side. Did a nice good job against Mitch, he had some ground game control, but Masio able to put on his opponent. It was a really good fight. And then we talk about Clean 2 versus Evil Panda. Evil Panda, I thought was just outplayed a little bit too much. Where Clean 2, Tuba, just did such a nice job of finding his ability to just bring down his opponent and just get the nice victory. But then we go into the fight after that. Apollo going against Sankerson. If you could tell me how to correctly pronounce your name, please tell me in the chat. Please tell me. I would love to know so I don't butcher your name. Because I think it's Shakerton or Sankerson. I could be right or wrong. We'll have to see. But you guys put on a hell of a fight, a back and forth, what we love to see in ESFL, along with the technical fights, and love the beauty of the technicality of a UFC 5 fight, but just the pure brawl, the pure excitement, the pure hype. I don't know what's gonna happen. They're 2 unknowns. We love seeing that. So far, if I had to put a fight in that contender, it will probably be that one. Raider DNA shouts out to you in the chat. You say, any more fights today? We still have a lot more fights to go. We still have an interim 4-man tournament to play to see who's going to be our newly crowned interim champion, because Wild Jamie is currently our champion, but wasn't able to fight on today's card. So we're having an interim championship fight for next week's next events card. I don't know if it's next week. I'm sure I'm going to get confirmation of that later. But the next time when we have an interim champion, Swap Jamie's going to face that champion on the next card, and we'll see whoever gets their first ever defense to get the real life title belt and at least be up in the ranking board. So we still have, I want to say, 6 more fights ready to go. We're still just waiting to make sure all our fighters are getting ready. So that's why you hear me talking. But here we are. Boiler, do you have any update?
I do. I have a couple updates. We are going to go directly to fight number 9, it looks like. No, fight number 8. Sorry. I'm the best wrangler that's ever been created. I'm telling you. I just scrapped 2 fights and combined them, and they're in the lobby right now. God Ate My Pig versus JC21. Both of their opponents fell asleep. I don't know what Keza did. Wow. I don't know where Kieran, KRO. Like, guys, where did you go? You just disappeared. Whatever. We're moving on. God ate my pig with JC21. They are in the lobby, Kingsley. We're making it happen. I'm going to tell them to lock in. Let's do this.
Let's do this. And, you know, when you have lemons, you make some lemonade. And Gamp going against JC21. Again, this would have been a main event fight in previous ESFL cards. So the fact that we have in this, and it's only like the mid card, I mean, this is going to be a hell of a fight. We notified these guys at the earlier of this event saying, like, these are going to be names to look out for. Let's see how they do. Now they're facing each other. So we love the beauty of unpredictability. But right now, Alex Pereira versus Sean Strickland. Hell of a fight right here. Hell of a contest. Both ESFL former champions. We'll have to see how this goes down, because right now it's going to be a bit of a slobber knocker. God ate my pig on the left side using Alex Pereira, going against JC21 using Sean Strickland. Both guys were facing different opponents, but now they're in a barn burner of a fight. And already we're seeing uppercuts coming from JC21. So already we're going to see more technicality coming out of this fight than we see of the previous fight here, Boiler.
Hey, ESFL gods work in mysterious ways. We do our best to make matches, but sometimes they just come together like this. This looks like it's going to be one of the best fights of the night already, I think.
You want to see fireworks? Well, you got your fireworks. Even though we had a little bit of a wait, it's all in due time that we see some crazy shots. And right now, Gamp doing such a nice job with his body shots. But the combinations, both guys using a lot of their stamina when it comes to these combinations. They are doing such a nice job. But JC21 still trying to be a counter puncher. Still watch out for the flying knee. Gets that block gate slow. Working the distance perfectly. Oh my God. Not for the third one. As the up kick will save Gamp. Wow. But Gamp needs to put the pressure to pedal to the metal, honestly. And we're not even 2 minutes down on this card, but 2 overhead straight. These guys don't give a damn here, Boiler. They're here to put on the show.
Oh, they're like, whatever. I throw the game plan out. I'm just chucking leather, both of them, and that makes for some of the best fights. JC21. He's 0-1. His opponent also 0-1, but someone's getting a victory tonight. But they're both right in that fight of the night contender so far, at least slugfest of the night. We got a long way to go still, early in the first round or halfway through the first round.
Yeah, and good slips so far from Gamp, able to avoid the constant strike from JC21 as a front kick landed. But now, who's going to use that pull? Who's going to use that rifle combination to punish their opponent? Under 2 minutes left. And I see on the top of the screen, Boiler, I know you're not going to be happy because that's going to be a demerit, but like in a 3-round fight, it got put to 5 rounds. So hopefully it ends in 3 rounds. But it seemed like we're going to go fast pedal, a roller coaster ride in this situation, as Gamp able to land a nice uppercut, but the pull able to land right there, tries to land some executing shots. JC21 to answer back, but not able to get in the full extent. Good slips.
Ooh, absolutely, man. A minute left. No demerits for the 5-rounder. It's okay. They put it together so quick. Big shots. He's ripping the body out of the face.
Combinations are deadly as JC21 has no answer as God ate my pig earns the victory and gets his first victory at season 2 of the Xbox side.
That's crazy, man. That was, well, we just got that fight over with. I'm really glad it came together. It actually took longer to wrangle than for the fight to take place, but it was worth having for sure. God ate my pig with Pereira. Gamp comes out with the dub. JC21, big respect to both these dudes for just being like, yeah, I'll fight whoever, because they didn't have to fight. They could have been like, nope, it's not my opponent. I wasn't ready. I didn't game plan. I didn't watch film. They're like, screw that. We want in on the ESFL. Let's get some freaking violence going. So both of them are winners in my book, but there can only be one winner in the record book, and that's Gamp. 1-1. He was 2-1 in season 1, and now he's 1-1. So hey, you know, a couple more wins. Could get another title shot. Still a little while to go, but he's building some momentum with a dub like that over JC21 for sure.
Return of the Gamp might be in order. He might get a title opportunity in the future parts of this cards, but respect for both competitors for being ready. I feel like the best ability along with your stick skills is your availability, so we appreciate those guys for being flexible enough to put on a nice showing for our viewers. We appreciate that so much, and I know Boiler appreciated a lot getting that fight set up. So we still have a lot of fights to go. Hopefully everything stays according to plan. I'm knocking on wood as I speak the words, but again, this is another fight that I'm actually excited for. BK Maxi going against Leo. I think this one is going to be very interesting because this is the welterweight division, but Maxi, we know that he is a tried and true event. He is able to get wins, but Leo, he was really good in season 1. Can he reclaim that magic into the second season?
Yeah, he went 3-0 in season 1, Lilo did. So he's a perfect example of, hey, he showed that he deserves to be in the ESFL, but now it's time to click up the difficulty, get a little bit tougher competition. Well, BK Maxi, he went 2-1 in the PlayStation Season 2, and he won his debut last week against JC21, who we just saw. So Maxi's 1-0, Lilo 0-0. Both guys could be heading for the top 10. Whoever wins this, that is, could end up being a top 10 type of fighter early in the season.
Yeah, and again, it's such an early start of the season that anything you could do, any like spotlight you could put on yourself will just hype up your prestige a little bit up and give you more chances. So it's everything to play in big stakes in this whole entire card. But BK Maxi on the right side using Kamaru Usman. On the left side, you have Leo using Leon Edwards, which is a classic and true contest when you think about the UFC. But in this kind of fight, just a mixture of like hooks and kickboxing. But the one underrated thing is those takedowns. We saw a fake takedown going to the elbow, and I think Max is going to be using that a lot in this contest.
That was great little fake takedown into an elbow that did a lot of damage. Real tricky there. Maxi's legit. This is going to be a fun fight. Kingsley, definitely.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how fun can it be as we see Maxi using the distance, able to catch that leg kick, but not really pressing all the way forward, being a little bit more patient. Meanwhile, we see Leo tries to go for a hook. It gets countered easily, and now you see the pressure being put on a little bit more. Maxi's trying to test the metal of his opponent, but the body shot's able to land 2 uppercuts straight to the body, and that did a lot of hits to the stamina of Maxi.
It did. I love to see it. Big time. I'm a stamina merchant. What can I say? I love working the body and making people miss and zapping their stamina. Doesn't always work the best in this game, but I love zapping that stamina, working the body, and then going upstairs a little bit later.
Yeah, and you can see that could be the game plan, but Maxi with the hooks and the uppercut, able to get another run. Oh, but a good slip. Excellent slip to answer back. And it just seems like this game is going to be huge. We saw the slips, but one thing we have to know is about Maxi, he did use those pulls. And every time he used a pull, Leo did a nice job of working towards the body. He wasn't just headhunting the whole time. He was able to land on the body and use some of that stamina against his opponent. But right now, in this neutral game, needs to be very careful. Another rock into an uppercut. Did have enough stamina to try to go for overhand. Maxi not able to get the full knockdown animations as his opponent was blocking. But Leo needs to find a way to get back in. Able to get a nice 1-2 for his troubles. 38 seconds left. Able to answer back. Maybe this could be his chance here, Boiler.
Man, a lot of damage taken, a lot of damage. You can't be swinging 1 for 1 if you're Edwards. Let's just say that against Usman. Oh, big shots. That's starting to really add up. Maxi is, man, he brings it, man. He brings okay, counter, bring it back.
He needs to be fairly careful, but look at that. 12 strikes, significant strikes in favor of Leo. But for Maxi, able to get the rocks, able to get the stuns, but what more can he do? This second round, put the first round away. Second round, this is where you put the real work in. And again, Maxi is undefeated. He's 1-0, but if he gets to 2-0, he could be in a co-main event or the co-main event, the precious spot in the ESFL, and work his way up. But he can't get rocked and knocked down like that. As you see Leo trying to make a name for himself, working the body, working with the knees. He has his opponent hit 4 times, still working the body, still working the uppercuts a little bit. But now it's up to Maxi. What can he possibly do? Trying to work the distance a little bit more, but those body shots are working so nicely for Leon.
Yeah, Edwards really landing those. When he can use the speed and a little bit of the distance, he can crack Maxi. But fighting in the pocket like that, not a good idea.
You find a pocket and you will be in a damage zone of Kamaru Usman, and that's what Maxi is planning on, as both guys are just swinging for the fences, hitting there, but one had to land. It was all Maxi trying to go for a takedown, not able to get the full of it. gets denied, and now it's up to Leo. What can he do? He was working on the knees to the body. That worked very nicely, but when you're in the distance of Kamaru Usman, those uppercuts will prove to be damaged, and finally a takedown in for Maxi, but gets reversed right here. That's huge for Leon Edwards.
Yeah, man, he's got about 3 minutes to go. And this is a nice position. He can just sap the body and the stamina and lay low, get a couple defenses. Nope. Maxi was able to get back to his feet. You start to see that stamina disadvantage hitting Maxi now. He needs to be conservative, not get countered either.
Oh, that's huge. That's a big knockdown. That's a big rock. Can Leo, he's going to answer back. He's going to use the stack guard. He needs to find a way to block. He will not. BK Maxi,
nice.
Possibly an upset. Leo takes the victory after a vicious rock. After getting rocked himself, able to answer back in the second round and get the victory.
Lilo, I asked him, and he just said in the back channel, how do you pronounce it? He said Lilo.
Okay.
Dude, I don't know, these commentators really got a clue who I am. Well, I'll tell you, Lilo, we know who you are now. 3-0 last season. Now you're whooping ass in this season. I mean, you're definitely going to get a top 10, maybe even a top 5 opponent next event that you sign up for, dude. So awesome fight by Lilo. Maxi. I don't know. He's going to have to go back and look at the film, see where it went wrong. I'm not even going to say where I think it went wrong. Not even sure. Lilo's just so damn good. That could be part of the problem there, Kingsley. But it was a fun fight all around. Lilo with the dub.
Lilo absolutely did so well. But one of the main things is that he had the total strikes and significant strikes in his favor. But the rocks were coming from Maxi. Maxi was having chances in that first round. But when it got to the second round, Lilo just needed one opportunity to just get a rock. He went to the stack guard and he just found his opportunity. So respect to him, and that changes the whole rankings, because initially if Maxi becomes 2-0, he's probably in the co-main event. He's probably fighting for a title. This changes everything. So now Lilo, I don't know if you put him in the co-main. I don't know if you put him up there, but maybe one more fight and needs to prove it. But congrats on him. He's now technically in the whole concurrent season of season 1 and season 2. He is 4-0, which is absolutely incredible. So we'll have to see what he does in the future. But I'm going to be keeping an eye on it, because that's going to be some good stuff. That's going to be good stuff for the competitor. But now we're in the thick of the contest, the thick of the card here, Boiler, because this one's kind of big. Even though the record doesn't show it yet, it's still early on. But BFAP Trixie going against K1 Pain. This is a big-time fight in the ESFL right here, Boiler.
And at least on these usernames, they've never fought one another. Not sure if they've ever sparred or fought anywhere else, but they're 0-0 here in the selection screen. Let's go through the scout report super quick. Well, Trixie, of course, ESFL Live Las Vegas alumni, part of that epic experience in Vegas. We're trying hard, guys, to another live event in the somewhat distant future, hopefully not too long into the future, but we want to get another live event sometime as soon as we can. Trixie was 6-5 last season, ended up ranked number 4. V Payne, he went 3-1 in season 2 of PS5. He joined the roster late in PS5 and he said, "Can I join Xbox?" I said, "Let's give you a shot. You went 3-1 in PlayStation. Let's see what you got." Here's his first fight on Xbox right here. V Payne.
And V Payne, I mean, he's doing such a nice job so already, able to get some strikes. Maybe the PlayStation experience maybe gave him a little bit of an edge. We'll have to find out. But he's using Aspera nicely, landing these hooks and these combinations against Trixie, who is on the right side using Izzy Adesanya. We know that the distance game is going to be very paramount in this type of contest. But right now, Payne is giving Trixie no quarter into this contest, still in a fumble, but maybe to his detriment, because he can't take 2 main shots right there, Boiler.
He can't. He's got to calm it down a little bit. We'll see. It's pretty early in this round. I feel like as we go up in the fight card, usually the pace will slow down a little bit, but we haven't been seeing that quite yet today.
Yeah, we'll have to see. The pace could get exponentially faster, but leg kicks we're seeing. Oh, but a front kick landing. Payne bringing it all the time against his opponent, and now the 1s and 2s. We need to see Trixie block a little bit more, because he's not slipping. He's keeping his head on center line. Oh, and again, the setback into the straight. Picture perfect. You love to see it. Payne is bringing on to his opponent, but what can Trixie do? Trixie's trying to land uppercut, trying to gauge the distance a little bit more, but just this game right here, the halfway mark of this first round, the pull into an elbow. Maybe you want to go for a hook right there. We won't know fully, but I want to see a little bit more body shots. I want to see if the body shots will work, but when you're landing counter shots, maybe you don't need to land any of that, Boiler.
B-Pain is one of the most dedicated competitors out there. He's been messaging me for like 3 years, talking about how he wants to make the roster, how he wants to get his first win, and now how he's ready to take out an ESFL Live Vegas alum. He sent me a DM over the weekend telling me he's been ready for this moment forever. So he's taking this very seriously, and it sure as hell looks like it. He's fighting well so far.
Yeah, he's fighting well, but he needs to be watching out. It's easy to start out well. It's even more difficult to finish off well. So if he can stay consistent, maybe he has a chance. But Trixie, we know that he's a vet. We know that he's a former champion. He has been into the deep waters before, so he's going to be a tough out. But these front kicks, they worked well the first time. Second time, not as much. But this distance game, I mean, a pull right there, able to get a nice straight onto his opponent. Trying to go for a spinning back fist right there. Whoa. He's feeling confident right there, Boiler.
He's so smooth, and Trixie's a grizzled vet. He fought 11 times last season. He's fought championship fights and other big events, UFC sponsored events, but he's getting hurt bad here.
Nasty. With 5 seconds left, going for a takedown. It might not work, but it did work right there. But he had no head health left, and so probably the smart move. But Trixie able to get rocked in that situation. But look at that, total strikes, significant strikes, all in favor of Trixie. So even though he got rocked a little bit, he still has a chance in the second round. So what are you looking for Payne to capitalize on what he did?
Payne just needs to keep scoring the heavy damage, even if he's slightly behind on some statistics. Oh my gosh, like that uppercut almost finished Trixie, just like a couple frames away from it probably. So Payne just needs to make sure he doesn't get caught with any big shots in a trap, and just keep fighting the way he is, even if it's slightly less on the statistics. He's doing so much damage. Oh my God, he almost finished him again, I swear.
Yeah, I was going to say that uppercut, he ducked down, and that could have been all she wrote, but Trixie still has a sliver of life left, but uppercuts are coming in. Significant strike percentage is 32 for Payne. Payne still being cautious. Still trying to find avenues, trying to slip and uses the right hook, able to get it, but not to the full extent. That block ace is being low. Trixie not fully committing. Still popping shots, and it seems like the pop shots are working well as he landed into a head kick off of the combination of all those shots. And now it's up to Trixie. Trixie doing a lot, and now the elbow shots. Will he stay much to the ground right here, Boiler?
Hell of a sequence there by Trixie. Started to change up the timing a little bit, and it worked wonders. Now he's in a dominant position with 3 minutes to go. See if he can stay here. He ain't trying to stand up, it looks like. He's got a hell of a good ground game, does Trixie stuff. He may try to stay here for 3 minutes, get a little damage, and score a lot of points.
I mean, could, by any means necessary. If you could just gauge that opponent and get a denial like he did with that transition, maybe this is your avenue. You did so well with the striking. Maybe this is where you need to be. Gets another denial again, and he couldn't do it for a third time, but hey, you take a posture up opportunity, working towards the body, but it's all going to score points, right?
Yeah, and points win. Points win, especially when you're not being threatened with a finish in this position, then points are everything. Trixie might say, hey, I've taken too much damage. I'm already too far behind on the damage. Let's try to get a 2-1 decision. And that's, we'll see what happens in the third round, but he's well on that way here in the second round. Nice denial there by Trixie.
Yeah, and under 130 left in the second round, past the halfway mark of this whole fight. Trixie doing such a nice job. We said with 3 minutes remaining, maybe he'll stay here and try to just do as much damage as he can and keep his opponent down. Meanwhile, Payne, if I'm looking at this, like maybe if you save for the whole rest of the minute, third round's gonna be very pivotal where you just gotta keep it standing up. You can't get taken down again, because if you allow this to happen again, you might lose this whole fight. So what could he possibly do with 40 seconds left? Will he try to gauge his way to get back up to his feet? But just all these body shots, all this stamina draining for Trixie. Okay, very nicely. Tries to go
denial
for
by
reverse.
Payne. Payne had a good denial, another good denial. Payne knows he's trying to posture up to get that final damage. He's going for the armbar.
Submission, but 8 seconds left. Will he have enough time? He needs to go for it real quick.
Got it. No.
Oh, but I didn't get it.
Wow, so
that was very close, though.
That was awesome. That was great. Great work by both guys there. Payne had a couple clutch denials. He knew Trixie was going to get up at least in the last 10, 15, 20 seconds, try to get a little ground and pound off. So we got a couple good denials, prevented the damage, but also sapped some stamina, even got a submission attempt for his efforts.
And here we go. Third and final round of this contest. Trixie, he wants to get his first win in this season. Meanwhile, Payne from the PS5 side, he wanted to try Xbox. Can he make a name for himself in this third round? Can we see a finish, or will it go to the judges' scorecard? But with a spinning roundhouse like that, maybe we will not. As Payne is able to get the rock. He is turning on gamer mode right here as he gets the knockdown. He gets the rock and the knee. Night for Trixie. You don't see any tricks here. There's nothing up the sleeves as Payne brings the knockout to his opponent and gets the victory.
That was so violent by Payne all around. Obviously, the finish was violent. We're going to see that knee just, oh my gosh. But the combos leading up to that and some of the shots leading up to that finish were just superb by Payne. Massive violence, massive precision. Man, he's the real deal. 3-1 on PlayStation, 1-0 here, including a victory over Trixie. Like, are you kidding me? Maybe needs to work on his ground defense a little bit more. It's hard as Pereira, and Trixie's got a great top game. Saw maybe a little bit of a gap in his resume there and his skill set. He probably needs to work on it, but his stand-up is some of the best I've seen this season, Kingsley.
Yeah, I mean, he was able to survive to go in that third round, and it worked really well for him. He was able, the fact that he did a spinning roundhouse and capitalized on that to get into the clinch and to the knee to get the KO, that was absolutely huge. Also, let the record be shown that PS5 players are kind of better than Xbox players. I mean, it was PlayStation versus Xbox, and a PlayStation guy did get the victory. I'm just saying, PlayStation, we kind of have a leg up. So shout out to my PlayStation players, but hey, that's what happens in the ESFL. You should put everything on the line. But another thing, all jokes aside, for Trixie, he's 0-2 now, which is very detrimental to its title aspirations. It's so tough, but like, he's faced killers before, so like, he's still not out of it, but it's gonna be a very tough climb, especially with the limited amount of events that we have here in season 2 for the Xbox side for the ESFL. So hopefully he has his opportunity, but man, it's gonna be a tough climb, a tough hill to climb. But for his opponent, Payne, good on you, making PlayStation proud, but we'll have to see if you can continue on that and be very consistent with his striking, and we'll see if he can work on his ground game. We'll have to see. But now, Boiler, it's time for that prestigious part in the ESFL where we look to our, because technically it's not the Coco main event, but I'm calling it the Coco main event because this is the spot where you get the premier guys before they make that upper step into the next part. But this one is about the undefeated. Both guys are 1-0. It's going to be Zay going against D's, and these guys are looking to put a name for themselves in the middleweight division here, Boiler.
Just told him to lock in. Let's make it happen. You'll see on the left, REPXH. I'm just gonna call it Rep. That's actually Zay. So Rep or Reps. I don't know. That's Zay. So FYI, on the left is Zay, and Dezinho, aka D's, is on the right side. They got an okay ping, 120, 108. I didn't see what their matchup against one another is record, but I'm sure they fought each other quite often. Here's a question for you, Kingsley. How quickly did you turn off the menu music in this game? Over under 2 days of owning the game.
I would say not as much as EA College Football, which was like -5 minutes. So like, at least there's variety in it. But for this broadcast, we hope to make sure that everything is all to ESFL code, which we love to see here. But again, going into this fight, well, hopefully that the music is in the punches, in the power, and the damage. So we'll have to see. Again, we have Zay on the left side using Duplessis. Meanwhile, Anderson Silva being used a lot in this ESFL card, being used by D's on the right side. So we'll Anderson Silva be the continuing luck charm? We'll have to find out. But so far, a little bit more of a patient status, not really much distance making, but center of the octagon striking seems to be the name of the game so far in these early parts of this fight.
Yeah, this is the sort of pacing I'm usually expecting at the top end of the card because both guys know they're both so dangerous. They don't want to overextend themselves. Very technical. Nice. Power takedown in the middle of the knee. Nice.
Flipping them around and already in the side control. Zay doing a nice job to just testing it out, trying to see what works and what doesn't. It's always good to be versatile in the first round. Like, okay, have your opponent think about the ground game, think about the takedowns, think about the striking. More things that you put on your opponent's plate and get out of his rhythm, the better you're going to be. And for D's, I mean, this is going to be an excellent point where can you possibly get out of this situation? Can you make your way back up to your feet and try to, like, adapt to the situation that you're in? But now with Zay taking the back a little bit, we could possibly see a submission attempt or maybe a full mount situation.
Yeah, Deez was turtling up literally, saying, I'm not going to do much. I'm going to wait for you to try to move and try to defend it. And, you know, eventually Zay's like, fine, I'm going to take your back and you're not going to stop it. And now you're going into a submission attempt. Here we go. Walk us through this, Kingsley.
Here we go. We can see the red face of Anderson Silva losing a lot. Stamina right here. And this could be an opportunity for Zay. Zay trying to have a chance, but goes into the full mount. But with 90 seconds left in the first round, it was a good attempt. It looked good in judges' scorecards, but we'll have to see. Will he go for another posture opportunity? Both guys are just standing still a little bit. Trying to go for the posture up. Able to get 2 shots, maybe 3.
Ooh,
get that block gauge fairly low with a nice elbow. And so far, Boiler, I mean, Zay's scoring a lot right here.
Well, Zay beat Gamp at ESFL 185, so we saw Gamp do some big work today. Zay beat him.
184?
At what? Yeah, at 184. I gotta change the scout report. I put 185 on that. But yeah, he's defeated Gamp last event, ESFL 184. Zay did, and he was 4-5 last season. So he's been a journeyman that's trying to become one of the top guys instead of just a 500 type of fighter. A win here definitely will put him there.
Yeah, definitely. You can see he's aiming towards that win as Zay just constantly with 10 seconds left. This is his third posture opportunity, and he's just landing so many bombs right now that they had to take them off of him. And this is where D's, if I'm going in second round, we've seen him many times before. If you adapt, you have to keep it standing up. You can't go to the ground game again because posture opportunities, ground and pound, we've seen it before. It's not going to stop until you make it stop. So let's see how this goes down, boys.
Yeah, I guess you ain't going to be expected to pull off a triangle against Tails underneath your D's, so that's the only position you might want to be in on the bottom. And otherwise, standing up, landing a flying knee, landing some elbows. He's been throwing a lot of elbows, and there was one right there. D's wants to land that, stay on his feet.
Yeah, we'll have to see the combinations. Going for a simple jab, which is probably what D's needs to do. Good jabs, getting that block gauge low, making sure he has the right distance because he's going to have the range game. Uppercuts landing, and this is working very nicely. Head strikes landing is 36% in favor of him. And meanwhile, it's up to Zay. What can he do? He's closing up every single time. He's trying to close that distance, maybe slip a little bit to get his opponent to up kilter a little bit. Oh, and the uppercut, you duck at the wrong time, and you will pay for it constantly. And D's, I just would love him to play a little bit more of that distance game. He did so well, but he's playing too close to the vest.
I agree 110%. You got to use the speed and distance advantage, even though, I mean, Anderson can put some work in the pocket, especially with those knees and elbows, but there's no reason really to be there if you can help it.
Denial of the takedown as we're under 3 minutes of this second round right here. We see that Zay did so well in the first round with the ground and pound. So far, keeping his opponent a little bit shaky. Had a rock on to D's. But D's still pressing forward, still staying in his phone booth. Tries to get the right slip in. Gets a nice elbow, but only get much of the block gauge right there. But still staying in. Oh, but the pull, but doesn't go for a strike. Goes for a takedown. Can he deny it? Once again, he does. D's doing such a nice job. And now this is his answer. What can you do? The same note's fairly low. It was halfway. But will we see a front kick? Will we see a head kick? He has that block gauge low. His opponent's not moving from the center line as much. And Boiler, you have to think, this is a good opportunity for D's.
Yeah, dude. This has turned out to be a very fun fight. Tactical with a lot of different action. D's, whenever he fights like Anderson, he ends up doing better whenever he just gets in the middle and starts chucking. Not as good like that.
And that's where you don't want to be. You get rocked and then you get spear taken down. But wait a minute, hold on. Deez is able to get right back up.
Oh!
He thought he might have been stuck, but that was a good knee. 1 minute remaining in the second round right here. Tries to go for uppercut, not in the right stance to probably make a full impact, but gets a nice left hook for his troubles. Still pressing forward, still using the jabs, still using the straights. Zay still working his way, gets a nice uppercut, tries to land the hook. Going into the cleanse, not able to get the full anything. 30 seconds left. What can Deez do? Dancer back in, he does just that with an uppercut for another. Oh, he gets the rock. Oh, but the up kick with 13 seconds left. Maybe the home run hit is here. Tries to go for an overhand, not able to fully get it. Uppercut, maybe. No, we're going to the third and final round there, Boiler. What a interesting couple of last moments right there.
Yeah, man, playing with fire. Deez has got the bloodlust. It's hard to say he shouldn't be because he's putting a heavy whooping on his opponent, but he's putting himself at so much risk as well. I feel like he could step back and get an Anderson Silva front kick like Vitor, knock him out clean, but he's like, nah, I want to stand toe-to-toe. I want to see who the most manly fighter here is, and that's what we'll see, I guess. Kingsley, let's make it happen.
Yeah, we'll have to see a nice show respect, touching gloves before the third and final round of this Coco main event. Both guys getting some nice damage. It's up to Zay. He had the benefit of the doubt of getting the rocks, getting the knockdowns, but Deez has done such a nice job of answering back. Oh, that uppercut could have been deadly, but the stamina was very low. Get the nice takedown denial into his brawl, but able to get back up. He needs to get his back away from the cage. Go back to the center line. When are we going to see a head kick? When are we going to see a knee? It could be everything to play for, but Zay doing a nice job. Still pressing forward. Very close. You could cut the tension with a knife. Block gauge being low for both competitors. One simple trade. Run! Wrong step could be the detriment. Can we see another denial? Another denial! This is what the Deez need to do. Gets the knee onto the face of Zay. Zay could be in trouble. Does it go for the up kick right there? Will we see a stack guard? Stack guard could be in play, but another stand up. The knockdown was huge for Deez right there, Boiler.
Suave Jamies thought Deez deserved a shot at being in the four-man tournament we're going to go to shortly, but he didn't make that. I can see why he deserves it, but both these dudes are studs. Nice takedown. Might be a little too late, but maybe not. I don't know. We got more than half a round left.
True. In the first round, he was dominating for 3 minutes in this round game. In the second round, he was able to get back up easily because he has his back to the cage. Right here, he's in no man's land. Not near the back of the cage, not nowhere near the center of the octagon. So what can he possibly do? Deez is fighting against his opponent and the clock and these denials of transitions right here. Zay is trying to just cling on to life, cling on to his opponent and these pops drops. This is a good opportunity, just working towards the bite as much as possible. 2 minutes remaining. Gets a nice denial. Needs to find a way to get the full guard. He needs to find a way to get back up. Time is of the essence. Just one simple denial could change his whole entire fight, but the pops drop opportunity. Able to get back up. Zay able to do a nice job and all the way to the half guard, and that's going to be detriment to Deez's plans.
Yeah, he's being aggressive. He's not just laying praying on top. He even went for the full mount. It was a nice denial there by Deez. Got a minute left. Accelerated clock. See if he throws up an armbar. That would be hilarious.
1 minute, the denial, the fake transitions, not working really well. Time is of the essence, and that time is dwindling down for Deez. Not able to get back up. He is trying to swing to find his way. He gets it nice and now, but what can you do after? He gets his back, and what in the world is he doing?
I have no idea.
I have no idea, but you can't be doing that. But Deez, he needs to get back up. He's still saying a pause round. Maybe he's trying to end it right here. 10 seconds. No way. Deez, no shot. He ended with a backside position. Are you joking? The most shocking turn of events. I thought it was all over, that he wasn't going to risk it, but he bet on himself. He bet on Deez's hands, and he was able to get the backside TKO there. Boiler, can you even believe what we just saw?
Dude, Deez is the one that's streaming, so that's like him doing a final taunt before he goes for the finish. Like, I don't know, man. That's like That's some showmanship. I love to see that. That's risky as hell. Maybe a little dishonorable in a way, a little rude, but he got the freaking W, and that was pretty awesome there. That's a fight of the night contender. I want to hear what the audience says about that in the chat, if that should be a fight of the night contender, because it was back and forth, and that finish was, let's just say that was unique. I've never seen anything like it, Kingsley.
Honestly, that was shocking. Like the way I volume increased my voice, because I did not expect that at all. I thought like you need to go. I was calling it. I was like, he needs to go back to stand up. You're wasting time. You need to find a way. But he trusted in the posture up in that backside. He was able to get maybe 3 or 4 consistent shots. None of them were blocked. And I know it's so difficult to like gauge where you need to block, but the fact that he trusted so much, I think, how much time was left on the clock? Like
5 seconds or something.
5 seconds. I could have sworn, if I didn't see the judges' scorecards, but Zay, you got defeat in the jaws of victory. You had it in your hands, and for some reason, it just, wow, what a devastating defeat. But these, what a amazing comeback story, and that's why we say the co-main event is the craziest fight in the ESFL, because you never know what's going to happen. And for D's, you said he had Swap Jamie in his corner, saying that he should get like one of the top spots. Shoot, if he's able to put on performances like that, maybe he has like a chance to be the co-main. I don't know, but crazy stuff. But hey, that's why we play this game that we love, especially in ESFL. So we'll love to see it. But speaking of high stakes, speaking of like crazy stuff that's happening, Boiler, it is time for a 4-man interim Xbox Championship tournament. This is where everyone was here to see. This is the big leagues now, as we got 4 guys vying for a chance to get the title to face Swap Jamie at the next event, to be the ultimate champion and get that one title defense, to get the real life championship at the end of the season. Our first semifinal will be a crazy one, and it's going to be EK Warrior going against LWCIA Webcam. Both guys have been tried and true veterans of the scene, looking to be the #1 guy in the finals. When we look at the scouting report, these guys have everything to play for in this contest here, Boiler.
Both of these guys are ESFL Live Las Vegas alum, part of that crazy event in person a few years back. EK Warrior in season 1 of Xbox was 8-3, ended up ranked #2. Last week, he defeated BFAP, Dirty Dave. Man, these guys have fought so much. Dirty Dave and Warrior, such great rivalry. But Warrior came ahead on that in the first round and barely lost to Muay Thai Jesus in the semifinals last week. Webcam, 6-5 in the first season, ranked #7. Also ESFL Live Vegas alum. Incredibly dominant victory against EK Mixups. Like, best Webcams ever looked by far last week. Another close loss to Suave Jamie. So both these dudes were extremely close to winning the championship last week. Now they got to face each other.
Yeah, and again, to set the table for everyone, this is our first of 2 semifinals in the 4-man interim title tournament. Again, Webcam is using Max Holloway on the left side, and on the right side is his opponent, EK Warrior. We saw some love in the chat for EK Warrior. Some people are rooting for EK Warrior, but will Webcam disrupt the whole era and make sure he has a chance to be in that final, one step away from being the interim champion? We'll have to find out. But so far, we see Warrior. He's getting some nice punches. He's getting some good striking, but Webcam, he's no slouch. He's been in these situations before. Maybe he's going to try to go for some crazy shots, but in this phone booth, both guys are going for the gusto, and combinations coming out hot and heavy from EK Warrior.
So Webcam, of course, part of the LW camp, not just part of it. He's the leader of the camp, but he trains a lot with EK. In fact, when I announced this card earlier this week and started wrangling, he was in a lobby sparring with Warrior. So these guys were sparring, just kind of, friendly spars, training with each other, and then they learned they had to fight each other this week.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if that could translate into this game right here. What can lessons that you put in the lab, what can you put them in the real time, in the real high stakes caliber fight, just like this one, as Webcam still pressing forward. able to avoid the overhand, but not able to avoid the hook as he lands a hook of his own against Warrior. Warrior trying to find his way back in. Good body shot after the one straight combination. Under 2 minutes of this first round. Tries to go for head kick. Webcam does, but not able to get the full extent of it as, you know, a nice little body shot. Able to push his opponent around. But both guys going for it with these combinations. We know Max Holloway has stamina for days, so you know you can unload the gas tank as much as you want. But Boiler, when you're looking at Webcam, he used 2 Superman punches, but needs to watch out for the counters right here.
He does. Warrior is so precise with the distance management and the counters and the timing. But Webcam clearly has the reach advantage with Max, and stamina is just for days. Volk, we know this though. Volk is the kryptonite for Max. Hopefully that ain't happening for Webcam necessarily here. Very good fight so far. I do feel like Warrior's slightly ahead.
We'll have to see. I mean, you never know. In 30 seconds, it can all change. We'll have to see who gets that first stun, who gets that first rock, as both guys train a little bit. Oh, but the slip. Oh, good stuff from Warrior, but a good pull away. Webcam trying to answer back. Tries to go for a Superman punch, able to land. The second one is successful out of 3 attempts of the Superman punches. And so far, we have a good fight so far. Total strikes in favor of VK Warrior, but significant strikes just by 2 goes into Webcam's favor.
Super close, as you note right there. Trying to be impartial as much as I can. I will say Warrior won that a little bit on damage. He hit some nice counters, a couple clean hooks, but Webcam is looking good. It's tough, man. Warrior's one of the perennial top 5 here on the Xbox, going back to UFC 4 and even before, I believe. So these guys know each other well. Webcam's fighting well. I do think Warrior took that round. It's close, though, man.
Yeah, it has to be very close. You have to take every round with a grain of salt when it comes to the fight, because, like, nothing's over until you get that knockout, and you don't want to leave to judge the scorecards at all. But meanwhile, EK Warrior playing a little bit of distance game, still trying to find a way to just block the body shots and make sure he's not losing a lot of stamina against Max Holloway. Meanwhile, Webcam, when he gains that distance, he wants to go for that home run shot. We saw him use the Superman punch, and a nice pull away, able to get the right hook, but not like a lot of damage as we've seen, as the striking percentage is still fairly close, as both guys trying to slip around. Good elbow shots as he gets close to the phone booth.
Real nice
still
elbow.
Highly close.
Webcam has fought very well the last minute or so. Needs to keep up this type of pace and this type of skill set.
Do you think, and this is a question to you, the risk taking of Webcam, do you think that's like working to his benefit, where now EK Warrior has to mentally say, like, in any distance, he could be coming out with like a head kick, a Superman punch? Like, he's never really safe. He can never take his foot off the gas unless he's going to the phone booth and he gets that block gauge low.
Yeah, man, it's tough. Neither guy. I mean, at this level of skill that you're seeing in this octagon, this virtual octagon, like, you got to be on the razor's edge of aggression and defense. It's so hard. You got to go from offense to defense multiple times around. Almost every exchange you got to float back and forth, and that's where the real skill comes in.
Yeah, speaking of floating back and forth, we see both guys just like whip punches because the slipping was so good from both of these competitors. As a Superman punch, trying to gauge his distance, not able to get the full extent of it. Blocking was not there as Max Holloway. Oh my God! Night! Goodbye! EK Warrior! Webcam is in the building, and he is our first finalist for the interim championship grand fight. Look at this replay right here. Bada bing, bada boom. Tuck him into the bed. Give him his blank. He is ready for bed. Look at this. Both guys going for heavyweight shots. A front kick to a head kick. Max Holloway, the speedy man himself, and the power ends the night for EK Warrior.
Dude, that's got to be knockout of the night. We've had some sick knockouts tonight. That's got to be knockout of the night. Twitch chat going crazy. Infamous Stewie says that was nasty. Not gonna lie. Satchmo, what's up, Satch? Satch is in the house. He's got the brain exploding emoji. King John now. We saw him a little bit. King John Snow, that is. He's grimacing like, oh man, that was nasty. Oh, Pudgy's in the house, man. Loving that. That was. I hate to see one of those dudes lose, but Webcam has come so far, he just started as a journeyman, grinding. He told me he's going to make a title fight this season. He's been training literally since the last Xbox season, which was literally a year ago. And you can tell he's on a new level. He's more composed than ever. And that was the hell of a knockout, man. Warrior's such a stud, being able to knock him out like that. Oh, love it, man.
And like the key point is that he is such a journeyman, right? Like it's very understated when we like talk about it, because it's all like, oh, he's a journeyman, he has a bunch of fights.
Right.
No, when we talk about Webcam, I remember him from the affiliate league days when we had it on Wednesdays and we were talking about him, and he was on those cards. He had like such a up and down, like roller coaster kind of way of the season, but for him to finally put it together and just get his like showing, I'm like, in a kind of way, it's nice to see like someone who like worked his way through and able to get that victory, and now he has probably the best chance he's ever had in the biggest spotlight in the ESFL to get the interim championship, to possibly have a chance to face Suave Jamie, which he probably hasn't done before. It's gonna be absolutely insane. But for the other side, EK Warrior, I know the EK camp is proud of the way they fight and proud of the way they like compete, but you know, like for new blood to get in there, it's a nice thing. But I know EK Warrior has a lot of support, so he will go all the way back up, climb up the ladder. But man, oh man, I'm excited to see how that whole thing's go down, because again, we would say that's a co-main event, but like that was the semifinal. To even get to the point where he is now, he has to fight another fight just to have an opportunity, just to have a chance. So he has to go through like a gauntlet, so to speak. He needs to just probably defeat all the EK camp members to even get a chance at the title, which is it's going to be very, very huge. So we'll have to see how everything goes down. But Boiler, I'm excited to see what happens. But I think you have an update for us, possibly. I'm not entirely sure.
I do. I have some bad news for everybody. I'll just won't put pig on a lips. Yeah, won't put lipstick on a pig. Unfortunately, Muay Thai Jesus had to pull out today. Had to pull out right around fight. We were trying to keep the fight. Fortunately, wasn't able to make it, and unfortunate circumstances for real. I'll just leave it at that. So Muay Thai Jesus is out. We do not have time or, you know, really the ability to get a replacement. So we're putting Mixups into the finals. EK Mixups, who ended up as the #1 contender last year, but he fought Webcam and lost to Webcam pretty soundly, pretty quickly last week. Well, this is his do-over. This is the one do-over EK Mixups gets. He gets a free ride to the finals and a rematch against Webcam, who took him out last week. Hey, it sucks to have a pull-out. Hope all goes well with Muay Thai Jesus and everything. And I'm just glad we get to see this fight in the finals, though. What about that, Kingsley?
Yeah, I mean, this is insane. I know, like, we hope that Muay Thai Jesus is doing all right and hope everything is okay. It's unfortunate they had to pull out. But for the storyline of LWCI Webcam, the journeyman, going to the top contender, and now he has to defeat the EK camp to beat the interim championship. I mean, this is a story that you can't write a better script than this. And for Webcam, he's already warmed up, right? He's already had a contest where he was able to put on such a great showing. Now with Mixups, for him, he has to go in fresh as a daisy. He saw what his last fight was. So now he's gonna able to take that like little bits and pieces and just like try to see like, okay, he has a tendency. Let me see how this works out. But now is for the interim championship. So that's very huge and monumentous. So since we have a little bit of a mix-up, no pun intended, ladies and gentlemen, live on Twitch and on YouTube, everyone in the ESFL community, it's about that time, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for your main event, a best of one fight to prove it all, to be the interim Xbox champion of season 2 of the ESFL at ESFL 185. The journeyman, the dominant victor of the last semifinal fight, LWCIA Webcam, is looking to prove all the doubters wrong, going against the elite kings in EK going against EK Mixups, who is looking to become a champion once again. Everything to play off, all the stakes, and you know there's a shadow lurking on both of them. Suave Jamie is lurking in the shadows like Sting back in WCW, looking to pounce on his next opponent. Who will get the opportunity in the featherweight bout? In this contest, everything is to play for. And look at the fighter selection screen here, Boiler.
Oh, yeah.
It is Max Holloway
All
going
right.
against Ilya Topuria. If it's not broke, you don't fix it in a championship fight here. Let's freaking go here, Boiler.
Yes, Saturday broke. Don't fix it. EK trying to avenge EK Warrior, his campmate. EK Mixups trying to avenge his campmate's loss and his own loss from last week. Webcam trying to get his first ever belt and that chance to get the unified belt and really a quick lead on the leaderboard for the entire season. There's a lot riding here. Let's do it, baby. 5 rounds, best of 1. Just a best of 1, Kingsley. 1 fight only.
You want to have this opportunity, but this is where Webcam, this is probably to his favor because he already fought, like, if it was like a best of 3, he's already won the first one, so he's playing with house money.
True.
Technically in his own mindset. He was able to get the overhand. He was able to get the hooks. He is fresh as Daisy. He's continuing on that momentum. Mix-ups, he needs to figure out a game plan real quick, and this is what part of it. Have his opponent back to the cage. Put on the pressure of Webcam. You know what he could possibly do. Uppercuts landing very nicely, but what can you do against the trades? The Superman punches coming out from Webcam. What can he do? Using the distance, using the body shots as much as he can. But when you go into these phone booth situations, can you work the trades? Can you find that right head kick? Can you find the chance to work against your opponent? And this is where you can play around with rounds, right? 5-round title fight. True. Not the 3 rounds. You don't have to push the issue as much, but you want to get your opponent out as quickly as possible here, Boiler. Yeah,
man, both guys are so dangerous, but I like you pointing that out. You do have 5 rounds to work with, and both these guys, you know, Topuria and Holloway got incredible stamina, but I don't know, that leaves an extra route to try to bring it out to that championship rounds, try to work your opponent down. Neither guy getting a huge advantage on stamina or damage, though, at this point. 3 minutes in the first round.
Yeah, it's all going to be about the stick skills. Like, it doesn't care about stamina. You're not going to be at a disadvantage. You need to make sure you put on your opponent. And look at Webcam. He's going for those, like, those overhands, those head kicks, those shots that you're not expecting someone to, like, naturally do. And now, Mixups, he has to worry about that. He has to constantly think about it like Warrior had to. But right now, the 1 and 2 is working really nicely. We're going to see a classic style going against a crazy style in the Webcam where he's going to find a way. I think that was a little bit of a bout. I'm not really entirely sure, but maybe he's trying to show respect. But with closer to 1 minute remaining in this first round right here, the hooks coming in for both competitors, teetering around, trading around, as we see Mixups still a little bit on the outside. Webcam trying to go for the Superman punch. Just creep a little bit forward as the time ticks down here, Boiler.
Mixups did a really good job this round of just, I'm not going to say stopping Webcam's momentum, but not letting Webcam's crazy momentum from the last fight just carry over and steamroll him. Mixups has done well, trying to control the pace, getting some good counters.
Too good
shot there, though. Exactly. Webcam is certainly throwing some of those big shots almost out of nowhere, and that's where you can catch your opponent.
Yeah, it seems like in these, like, the more performances that we're seeing from Webcam, he's willing to take the risk that his competitors won't take the risk on. Especially with high stakes, the head kicks, the overhands, the Superman punches. Maybe he knows that he's safe from that distance because, like, the 1s and 2s for EK Mixups, those are working really nice. When he gets to the phone booth and he's landing those combinations, it's paying really well. But for Webcam, being unpredictable, that's going to be his opportunity. And hopefully we get to see the fight coming on. Hopefully it's just a loading screen, but so far I would like what both competitors are doing. It's just like a clash of styles when it comes to this type of contest. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, it definitely is. It's neither guy wants to give an inch, but at the same time they realize they can't just go in like a bull in a china shop. They'll get slept quick by their opponents. They're trying to find that balance. They, by the way, at least in the fights in training that they've kept track of the score, that they're 7-7 against one another. So this is the final best of 15 fight between these guys.
it's just a non-stop war. It's just like they're gonna keep continuing, like best of 15, best of 17, best of 19. Let's just keep up in the stakes, especially with the title on the line. This just has the biggest stake of them all of the ESFL championship in the second season. It's just no big deal. But right now we see Webcam. He was able to capitalize a lot, even though we saw Mixups able to get the counter shots. It seems like he's waiting for like those body shots or maybe those like head kicks where he can come in close and get that counter shot to just pinpoint his opponent. But for right now, Webcam getting the right amount of distance. But this is where Mixups is having his best way of the fight. When he has his opponent up close, 1 and 2, just make sure he doesn't give his opponent to change anything else. I feel like that's the best man. But when you pull like that, you got to watch out for the shots because the Superman punch can come out of nowhere.
Exactly. You can kind of tap your opponent, get a couple shots, point fight. But if you get caught with a huge head kick, some spinning stuff, or a flying knee or something, that'll change everything quick.
Yeah, I would just love to see if Mixups is like stand still, get that distance. Maybe he goes for a head kick. Maybe he goes for like a swinging punch because like he's always doing something big when he's in that like right amount of like distance. As both guys are ducking around from the strikes right here, I would just love to see if Mixups can like get a read on that. If you have enough distance, go for a head kick. What can you lose? He's not going to go for like a upright strike. Maybe it'll work out. As we see Webcam's blockades being fairly low, this phone booth is not going to be the best. As we see Mixups ducking down a little bit as we're approaching the 135 mark of the second round right here, Boiler.
Mixups fighting pretty conservative, getting a couple good shots in there. Really looks like he would be fine with this going around 4 or 5, even though there's no stamina advantage per se. This pace seems to be working for him a little better, definitely based off the damage that Webcam has on the face. But it is still a pretty darn close fight overall.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how close is it going to be in the later parts, because right now we're approaching that dangerous time where if it goes 30 seconds, this is where you watch out for the home run hits. You watch out for the clenched knees and everything that could possibly be dealing out. But Mixups bring his opponents back to the cage. Make sure he has enough range to get against his opponent because he knows he's not going to have to reach. And here we go. 20 seconds left. Webcam being patient, trying to gauge his opponent. Mixups still pressing forward. Gets a nice hook for his troubles.
Nice. Yeah, picking him apart. Nice Mixups. Oh, he rocks. Nice work there by Mixups. Mixups is not giving up his defense for offense. He's keeping his defense real tight. And if the opening's there, he gets some shots in. If not, he's fine with resetting, going again. He's Teddy Atlas always says that. Never, ever give up your defense for offense. Mixups is doing a good job of that.
Yeah, and also, what a nice buzzer beater to get the rock against Webcam to make sure that he's absolutely fine going to this third round. Because right now, this is where you let 2 rounds go. If you're down 0-2, you can still win this title. But Mixup says, listen, you defeated my campmate, but this title is coming back to EK Camp. And right now, that uppercut is deadly from Mixups.
Love it. That was a way to start the freaking round. Came out hot. Big knockdown. Webcam's chasing a little bit. You can't get desperate here, but on the other hand, if you catch one of those knees, big shot though, he's hurt.
Oh, bro, it's looking detrimental for Webcam. He needs to go for something, but maybe if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Because right now, in that distance range, Mixups is getting up close, and he's having his way. Disrupt the blockades a little bit. Maybe we need to see a little bit more feints coming from Webcam. But Webcam still pressing forward, still trying to find his way back into his contest. Oh, maybe done it a little bit too much. Oh, but gets an opportunity. Mixup slipped the wrong way. Oh, but both guys are going for it, and it's just detrimental. As the Rock and the posture up. Will Mixups, will he become our interim champion? But not just yet. He still has to do a little bit more work, but 3 minutes left. Oh, but goes back to the stand-up. He feels confident in this, Boiler.
What a freaking exchange. So much action happened, and I had like 8 things to say, and I already forgot because they're about to knock each other silly again.
Yeah, and we'll see what can Webcam do to answer back. He was able to get a rock, but it was only at happenstance. Able to slip around. He can't afford these trades. These trades will not do wonders for him. He needs to find his way to get us back away from the cage. He's pressing forward, trying to go for a Superman punch. Tries to duck down. Mixups is not falling for any of Webcam's tricks.
Wow,
with 2 minutes left.
Solid like a rock. Mixups. All it takes is one mistake, but he's staying tight in there right now.
He's staying tight in there. That block gauge cannot afford any more damage. And you see it, the cause and effect. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting closer and closer. Mixups possibly taking the title away from Webcam. Webcam has done his due diligence. Get the 1-2 head kick. He is still fighting back. He is pointing at the center of the octagon. He is brawling. He says, you're going to have to take this title away from me, from my cold dead hands. You're going to have to finish me in the center of the octagon to take my dreams away. And he's trying to do everything in his power to fight back. And Mixups is obliging as he is taking the title away from Webcam as your new interim Xbox Season 2 ESFL champion goes to EK Mixups.
Sick fight to end the night. Awesome card. Dude, it looked like Webcam was going to get over there on a couple of those sequences, but all respect to Mixups. He kept his composure. He's got the killer instinct, but also realizes, hey, I lost to Webcam last week. I just saw Webcam beat Warrior, one of my top teammates at EK. So riding that lightning, riding that razor's edge of defense and violence. Mixups did that perfectly. Some great offense and defense on both sides. He comes down with that interim title, Kingsley. He's going to get another showdown with Suave Jamie later next month for the unified title and the first defense. Whoever wins that, it's the official first defense. And so this is a real belt, the way I look at it. They might call it interim. Yeah. I consider this belt just as legit as what Jamie won last week, but the real legit one is what's going to happen in Fight 3, man. Hell of a night, hell of a fight to finish it right here. Webcam, all respect, dude. He'll be back, I'm sure.
He'll definitely be back. He put on a hell of a performance. He had to go through a gauntlet, and you know what? He was close. He had his chance. He was gonna live by the sword. He was gonna die by the sword. He said, "You know what? I'm gonna point down to the mat, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna leave it all out." And he did. And you know what? Kudos for that. We love seeing a good show, and it was a hell of a fight. It went to the third round, so we'd love to see it. But again, as you said, this leads up to a preview of EK Mixups going against Suave Jamie. That's the next main event whenever that card gets set up, and whoever wins that, they already get that first defense. So everything to play for still. Every limited card that we have in the ESFL Season 2 is going to be so big and monumental. I can't wait to see it. And we'll see even more people coming up. I mean, shoot, we had Payne making a win. We had Lilo making a win. Guy McPeg got a win. Like, there's a lot of killers in this Xbox division. So you can't rest on your laurels by no means. And I know Webcam is going to find his way back up the ladder. But, spoiler, now, since we talked about everything, we went through the tournament, we went through all of ESFL 185. In your opinion, or we could get the chat's opinion, what do you think was your fight of the night? I know what the KO of the night.
Man, there's just so much. Look, we just had 13. I think were they all finishes or maybe one decision? 13 fights
I think we have all finishes. Honestly.
All finishes. I think so too. I think we
crazy.
had all finishes last week or maybe one decision.
Wow.
Point is, 2 hours and 10 minutes we've been live. About 2 hours and 10 minutes. We just had how many freaking finishes? 12, 13. Like, super respect to all the competitors out there being ready on time, making fights happen. Bam, bam, bam. Show must go on. Some epic fights. That's just me stalling for time because I'm not sure who I'm going to pick as the fight of the night.
You know, I'll help you out.
So many good ones. Please do.
I would say I'm caught between two fights, right? Because I feel like Zay versus D's was a really fun fight. That was a very shocking outcome. But I think I'm putting that in the caliber of like, it was a great back and forth fight, but the ending really shocked it.
Yeah.
But Apollo versus Sarkinson, ooh, that fight was kind of crazy in the prelims. And I'm a sucker for like people making their debut and like put on a crazy fight. Even though it was not most technical, it definitely made me like get a little bit amped. So I'm down to do two fights. I want to go for the guys in the prelims in Apollo and Sharkinson, but all on you. If you agree to disagree or agree to agree, I'm
Let's
down
see what the
for
chat says. See if they both deserve it. But at a minimum, let's go with Shakerson and Apollo. Let's start with them as the official fight of the night. If anyone else thinks anybody else deserves it, let me know. I'm also going to go back, watch this fight, start to finish, see if anybody else to observe it. Because I'm telling you, when you're going through this many crazy, awesome fights as a commentator, your head's a whirlwind. You're like,
Yes.
wow, man. So
and all of you
epic
should
stuff.
watch it back too. I need you guys to put this on repeat live on Twitch and on YouTube. I need you to go to the YouTube library. I need you to see this whole fight. I need you to see how crazy these fight finishes were, because there were some the knee from, I think, Payne to get that victory. That was insane. We saw an uppercut going crazy in one other fight. There was a lot of crap happening, and I was super excited. So congratulations at the fight night. And we only had 2 season 2 cards. The rest of the season is gonna be even crazier. We're gonna have so many title fights, so I can't wait to get that going. So again, Boiler, shouts to you, shouts to everyone in the back for wrangling and setting up production. Shouts to you, Fat Kid, and all of you guys in the community, in the chat, for being around here every ESFL Sunday. We appreciate you guys so much for the ESFL. I have been Kingsley. That has been Boiler. Thank you guys so much for being here for ESFL 185. We will see you guys for the next fight card. Peace out and have a good one. Peace out, everybody.